Today's podcast is brought to you by Visa. With the capacity to process over 65,000 transaction messages every second, Visa has been bringing innovations to the way we pay for over 60 years. Imagine a world where instead of just tapping to pay with your Visa, you had to wait for everyone in front of you to cut a check everywhere you went. Imagine how much fun it'd be trying to track down your cousin in Milwaukee for league dues. That's why Visa's vision is to be the best way to pay and be paid everywhere, so you won't have to. Whatever your goals are, Visa makes paying fast and easy. The only thing left to figure out is, where would you like to be? Visa, everywhere you want to be. Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you today? You look lovely.
Good. Thank you,
Hi,
Shannon.
Jenny. Whoops, your papers just blew off.
What is happening in here?
You did it. You did it.
Thank you, God.
What is happening?
Wait a second. Where is Unc? I don't know where he went. Who's this guy?
Walter.
Walter? Why is Walter here? Where's Unc? Where is the Henny?
It was Skip.
Where's the Stogie? The Black and Mild?
Due to unforeseen
I don't know what
circumstances,
happened.
Club Shay Shay was
Really?
not open last night.
Really?
So I apologize to all the Cowboys that wanted to get in.
Well, I have to apologize to you because you got to give me just 1 second, okay? How about them Cowboys?
Okay.
Are you allowed to do that to the camera, Skip?
Just
Jeez.
the camera. It called for it.
Oh,
How about that Dak Prescott? How about that Zeke? How about that Amari? Now we can start the show.
You good? Out
You know
of the
what?
way?
Before we start the show, I got one other quick little bit to
What?
do here.
Oh.
I got this thing on around my neck here today.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a grip on it. Hold on.
Guess why I'm wearing this? Because you shamed it on Friday, and you said that this has been jinxing me for the last 3 Fridays that I had worn it. And my Cowboys had lost all 3 games since our man Lil Wayne gave me this as a gift. Gave you one, gave you one,
Correct.
gave me one. And so I was texting with Lil Wayne on Friday saying, is this really going on? He said, no, you guys, meaning the Cowboys, you got this. You got it. He detailed all the ways we got it. And guess what? He was dead right about everything he predicted about last night's game. He said it would be a beat down, and it was. Thank you very much, Wayne. I will continue to wear this proudly as we go forward on our championship campaign.
Well, there you go, Wayne. Thank you for that. We have a jam-packed show today. How much better was Kyler Murray than Daniel Jones, and is Aaron Rodgers back? But first, we are going to start with what happened in Dallas. Doug Peterson said last week that his squad would go down to Dallas and, quote, win that football game. Well, they did not. The Dallas defense forced 2 fumbles on Philly's first 2 possessions, and the offense hung 27 points on the Eagles in the first half, the most in the Doug Peterson era. Dak Prescott made big play after big play, with many of those going to Amari Cooper, who caught 5 passes for 106 yards. The Cowboys now have a 1-game lead in the NFC East following the 37-10 win. So, Shannon, how do you explain it?
I'm waiting for this.
Wow,
I'm on the
tell
edge
us.
of my chair here.
The front-running ass Cowboys. That's how I explain it.
Front run?
Yeah, they front run.
They lost 3 in a row. They just lost to the Jets. Is that front running?
Skip, for the first time, Doug Peterson normally wins the coin toss, and he normally defers the coin toss. What this tells me, and I've been on teams that the offense was the strong unit, and I believe Doug Peterson believed that his offense is the strong suit of his team.
I agree.
So he wanted to send a message early.
He did.
I'm going to put my offense out there, and we're going to go. I said we're going to win this game. We're going to go down there. We're going to go to Dallas, and we're going to win this game. We're going to be first place in the division. So
Fearless. That's what he calls himself.
Fearless. So he wanted to send a message. Well, what happens, Skip, when you put your strong suit, what you consider the strong suit of your team on the field first, and the team takes the ball away? And then you go back out there and they take the ball away again. So what's happening in your mind now? You're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And they were in trouble. Give the Cowboys, and If the Cowboys take the ball away the first drive, Skip, and the defense can hold them to 3 points, you feel good. Take the ball away again, you hold them to another 3, you're feeling really, really good. Okay, touchdown, we're in the lead. But they go boom, 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 touchdown. Boom, 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 touchdown, and you're down 14-0. So now it's not like the Eagles have the best running game. So now you put Carson in a situation where he has to throw, and the Cowboys know he has to throw. Skip, and let me tell you what happened, what really, really broke the Eagles back. The Eagles have the second best rush defense in all of football.
Yep.
And the Cowboys got whatever they wanted running the football. Skip, if you beat me at my strong suit, what I'm good at, what chance do I have? Because you already know my secondary is terrible.
Fair.
Everybody throws for 3 bills plus. Everybody. Case Keenum got 380. Aaron Rodgers, although we won that game, went for 422. Matt Ryan had 330 plus. So we already know our secondary is not very good. But now, not only can you throw it, you can run it. So we're at your mercy. Zeke getting 5 a clip. So now what does that mean, Skip? We're going to play action you. And Dak can move him. He's doing whatever he wanted to, and they had their way with him. Give the Cowboys credit. They played really well last night, and I think that's what really frustrates you about this, what frustrates you about this team, because you see the potential. You see the Avalanche, what they're capable of. They went and got 37 points. We hadn't seen that Cowboys team in the last month.
Nope.
But we saw it last night. It reared its head last night, and it showed you what they're capable of. DeMarcus Lawrence, now you got to go back to call him DeMarcus. You can't call him Marcus.
The D is back.
You wanted him to come back.
He played. He showed up. Robert Quinn, he showed up. But, Skip, I was disappointed. For the very first time, I can honestly say, I was disappointed in the way Carson played. There were some opportunities to make some plays, and he missed it. There was a play in the game in the second quarter, Skip. They slid the line. They made a Liz or a Lucy call, which means they're going to slide the line left. So that means if they bring somebody off the right side, Skip, you got to throw high. Skip, you're protected to the left, and he looks the entire time. Now, they got Dallas Goedert. He's going to chip DeMarcus Lawrence. You see it here, Skip? They bring 27. Skip, you got to throw hard. You got to. You can't miss that. He misses it. That's plain as day. It doesn't get it. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing in meeting? Are you watching cartoons? You watching Game of Thrones? What the hell are you doing in meetings? Because I can assure you, I've been in that position. Shannon, we want you to hit the end. But if that guy's come, get your head around right now, because that's your guy. You're hot. John dumps it to me. I get a first down. You got to see that, Carson. You're too good of a player. You're too good of a player to let things like this trap you. But to give the Cowboys credit, they played well last night. They got out to an early lead. They could relax, play comfortable in their building, and they poured it on. I'm glad. I wish they'd have hung 50 on them. Because, Skip, when you beat a team, but see, if the Cowboys had jumped out to that big lead and they only beat them 27-24, the Eagles would have thought, well, if we don't turn the ball over, we got a chance. But see, when you beat a team 37-10, it lets you know you got a lot of things you need to work on. The Cowboys did them a favor. They just don't know it just yet.
Oh, so that's how you're going to sum this up. By the way, don't call 27 by his number. He deserves to be called by his name. That is Jordan Lewis. Little Jordan Lewis. He's the backup corner, but you know what? I think he might ought to be the starting corner. That's just me.
Little Jordan Lewis, the one that Devontae took advantage of?
But it took him 2 tries, but that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
My turn.
Go ahead.
Please.
My biggest takeaway is now you can no longer say my team hasn't beaten anybody, because I've heard that now for the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because they just beat Washington and New York and Miami.
You got one quality win.
Okay, so you got a quality win because last night my team obliterated the team you picked to go to the Super Bowl.
They did.
My team beat them down, beat them up, beat them every which way but loose.
They did.
And what you saw last night is what you summed up. On display was just how great my team can be when my team is locked in and revved up and motivated from jump, because they jumped on your Eagles from jump.
They did.
And why did they do that? I want to publicly thank Doug Peterson, old Dougie Prediction.
There you go.
For last week, all but guaranteeing we're going to go down there and win that football game. Sure. And I took it as a guarantee because I think my whole locker room took it as a guarantee. And I told you the day the story broke that I believe Doug Peterson just did what my coach, Jason Garrett, is incapable of doing on a weekly basis. Jason Garrett as solid an X's and O's type of coach as he is at the bottom of the heap of motivation in the National Football League. And to me, it takes external motivation. And finally, Doug Peterson lit a fire under my team that my coach cannot light. And I loved what DeMarcus Lawrence, the D was back last night because he was flying off the edge.
He was.
You asked for it.
And so was the guy on the other side until he hurt his chest. But the point is, DeMarcus said after the game, he made a statement, meaning Doug Peterson, and then we made a statement. So it's cry, Eagles, cry. And last night it was eat, Zeke, eat from the opening tip-off. Right. And then it was eat your words, Doug Peterson after the game. And again, he sort of sloughed it off as, no, I'm not upset by what I did. I have no regrets about what I did, but he should regret it because I believe the most blame he deserves to shoulder.
Yeah.
So.
Because he'd have been ever had a player, Skip. You remember the player said that about Kirk Cousins.
They did.
And what did he do? They released the player.
Yep, Zach Brown.
They released him. He said Kirk Cousins is the weak link of the offense.
Yep.
After the game, they released him on that Tuesday. So, Doug Peterson, you got to wear this one.
So, I appreciate what you said about your man, Carson Wentz, because I am so happy he's your quarterback and that my quarterback is my quarterback, because I'm going to say it again for the umpteenth time on this show. Dak Prescott is so much better than Carson Wentz. In fact, Carson Wentz, W-I-N-C-E, was so bad last night that I think he deserves a new nickname. You call him Walk It To Him Wentz?
Oh, yeah, what you gonna call
I think
him?
It should be Give It To Him Wentz, because he was giving it to him all night, right?
He was.
He was giving it up. He spit the bit a couple times on fumbles, and then he threw an interception to Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
And so that was 3 turnovers. And then Dallas got one from Dallas because Dallas took one away from Dallas Goedert, guy that I wanted Dallas to draft, except last night it seemed to work out pretty well for Dallas, as in Cowboys. So that was 4 turnovers for a defense that just doesn't take the ball away.
Right.
It had 5 turnovers in the first 6 games.
Correct.
5 in the first 6, and then it had 4 last night.
Yep.
Okay, why was that? Because Carson Wentz, to me, if you know his MO, he has one security blanket. He wants to throw it to 86, and he'd like to throw it to him every time.
Fair.
Zach Ertz. And Dallas has figured out if you take away a security blanket, he's going to be doing this. He's going to be double pumping, and he's going to be looking, and he's going to start look like deer in headlights. And to your point, I thought on the play in question that you called, I think he looked first to try to get it to Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, we will not let you have Zach Ertz because he tried him. He got some garbage yards late, but he threw him 5 balls, and he caught 2 for 38 yards.
Well, he didn't get his first target till the third quarter.
Yeah, till the third quarter. Well, that's how you take away everything that Carson Wentz is. He throws it to his tight end. And the tight end is really good. But if you put 2 people on him and one of them is Jalen Smith, you got a chance.
Right.
You can take him away because he'll double clutch and double pump, and then he'll start to look for wideouts. And he can't find a wideout because he threw 5 times to Alshon. He caught 2 for 38. That won't get it. How about Aguilar? He caught 2 for 24. What a night.
Well, yeah, and then he throws one about 60 yards to Aguilar, and he sticks his hand out. He's like, nah, I can't get that one. Bro, what's that about?
Yeah.
You want to lay out?
I thought, on the layout.
Yeah.
The other one.
Look at this skip. I mean, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I think he thought the game was pretty much over by then. I think he just sort of checked it in for the...
No, we don't check it. Hey, there's still time on the clock. You still make a play. We evaluating players.
Yeah. So, my guy, Dak Prescott, was superb last night to me in every way, shape, and form. Throwing it, running it, ball handling, pitches, everything worked. He was more in control of the game from the start than your guy was.
Yeah.
And my guy has some deep soul connection with Amari Cooper, and last night was all about, can Amari go or not? And he was flying last night. He looked like he was back to 100% off the thigh bruise that cost him. Obviously, it happened against Green Bay, and then he wasn't right and took himself out early against the Jets.
Well, I would skip. The man had 200-something yards against Green Bay, but he had a thigh bruise. He caught that L. Then he wanted to make it seem like, and then, the Jets, my thigh. And then he Lazarus. That's what I'm going to start calling Amari Lazarus Cooper. Because nobody rises from the dead quite like Amari.
Well, he did. Because my guy threw him 5 balls, and he caught 5 balls for 106 yards.
Yep.
And what I loved the most was the tone got set early by Ezekiel Elliott because what did he do to Malcolm Jenkins?
Man, he ran
him over, ran him right into the carpet. If we could see that, it's just, here we go, Zeke up the middle, and Malcolm says, no.
Yeah, no. Didn't work.
Right?
Oh, that's
okay. And then
he made it look
that
easy.
was ugly. That was ugly. And Zeke, you know,
that's a Pro Bowl player. He just did that too.
And that doesn't happen very often, if ever. I'm not sure. Malcolm Jenkins is a stud now.
But he didn't have one of his better games last night.
He did not. But as Zeke had told NBC, and Chris Collinsworth used it, that he doesn't take hits, he gets hits. That's how he runs the football.
Yeah, you got to.
So then here's my other favorite play. Last play of the third quarter, my quarterback kept the ball and ran it for 7 yards, and he got into it with said Malcolm Jenkins. And I don't know who started it, and nobody really finished it, but I was like, okay, Malcolm, so you can't take on, here we go. Okay, well, that's good. Let's go.
Well,
so you can't take on my running back, so now you got to take it out on my quarterback?
I'm going to have to side with Dak because it looked like he was going to try and step over the top of it.
I agree.
And Dak like, hell no, you ain't going to step over me, bro. What you think?
So Dak got mad, and the quarter happened, so they had a couple of minutes to think about it. And then, do you remember what the next play was? Up the rail to Amari.
Yeah.
This is a mad throw, which I love. When Dak plays angry, I love to see, that's good. Here's the next play. Up the rail, and it was a good throw and a great catch. That's too good. That's just too good. That is deep soul connection between those two.
Skip.
How do you stop that?
You can't stop it because the secondary isn't very good. Everybody, you should be disappointed because every quarterback that's gone against this secondary has lit it up to the tune of 3+ and multiple touchdowns. Dak had 1 touchdown and under 250. Okay, they won the ball game. But when you look at this secondary, Jalen Mills, I don't think had started a game since week 8 of last year. Skip, they're not very good. And
he makes them a little better.
Skip,
he did get the late pick.
Skip, all you need to know, Orlando Scandrick plays heavy minutes for the Eagles. The Kansas City Chiefs, who are maybe worse in the secondary than the Eagles, said, nah, bro, we good.
Well, he's bounced all over the place, has Orlando. We've had him on the show.
Since he left the Cowboys.
I agree.
Even the Kansas City. So that should tell you, Skip, but what Dallas did, they had Wentz under pressure all night. And if you notice, Skip, he got sacked 3 times. But he probably, if he wasn't as mobile and as athletic, he probably could have got back 6 or 7 times.
I would agree with that. He surprised me with how he escaped because he's got that big, strong, strapping Terry Bradshaw thing going.
And, he's ducking under plays and just having to heave it and throw it up out of bounds. Today, Skip, there's nothing I can say really bad about the Cowboys. I'm going to talk later. Your quarterback didn't play as great as you think he's playing. Yeah. But
we'll get into that.
The Cowboys as a unit, Brett Maher drilling 60-plus yard field goals.
He's got 3 of those in his career.
More than anybody in NFL history, right?
Wow.
But hold on. What happened against Green Bay? You see when there's no pressure on, what you can do? See, Jitty, he was being counted on Green Bay, Skip, to hit that field goal and then hit that onside, we get the ball back.
Different one.
Ain't no pressure. Okay. You already up, Skip, 24-7, right? Right. So ain't no pressure.
Well, he hit one at the Jets when they were way behind.
Ain't no pressure. I want to be some pressure. You need to make a kick to get to overtime, or you need that kick to win the game. That's pressure.
By the way, I'm glad you brought up my man Tavon and my man Orlando Scandrick, because how slick was that early call for the first touchdown? If we could see that play, please. Man. And what a sweet little slick pitch Dak makes off the motion call to Tavon. This is the first touchdown. And he gets out and he high steps. That's Scandrick right there. He high steps him, gives him the old dead hip, cuts inside him, and he is gone to the pylon. Like that? That's Orlando Scandrick.
Man, Scandrick, you let that man do you like that. Does Scandrick know this is on Sunday Night Football and everybody's sitting around the TV watching it? Does he know that?
And then one other highlight play we must show for Shannon's sake.
No, we don't need to show this.
Once upon a time, he called this young man, I believe, Mike Pollard. Was that what you called him? We're talking about Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
And this is another highlight. This might have been the best run of the night if we could see Tony Pollard. He's trapped. He's back. Wait a second. 11 yards for a first down.
And he should have been stopped in the backfield.
Yeah, that's the guy you shamed all through training camp when I told you he was legit. He ain't Zeke, and he couldn't have filled Zeke's shoes for 2 or 3 games.
So you back in love with Zeke now? Because you remember saying Zeke was looking heavy. He didn't have the burst.
Brought that up. You know what? I'm going to be completely objective on a great day for my Dallas Cowboys, and I know it's still early in the year, but complete objectivity. The Zeke I was watching last night, I hope our viewers remember Earl Campbell, the great Earl Campbell.
Yes.
But Earl Campbell was as much fullback as tailback or halfback.
Yeah.
He was fullback.
Right.
Zeke Elliott is turning into Earl Campbell to me. That's what I'm seeing now because he just tries to run over the whole defense. I'm not seeing the burst I saw when he was a rookie or even in his second year.
Right.
I'm not seeing the breakaway burst. Once upon a time when he was at The Ohio State, he was a halfback, man. I mean, he just, if you gave him an inch, he would take a mile. He was gone.
Yeah.
And last night, he just wanted to, he said after the game, I look at the defense like it's a shield, and I'm just going to keep cracking that shield till it just splits in two.
Right.
Well, okay, I'll take it for a while. I don't know how long that's going to last,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, how long did it last for Earl?
I don't know, not that long,
Exactly.
right? But for a while, it was Hall of Fame, man.
Right.
And Zeke's on a Hall of Fame arc. I just don't know how long you can last. I'll take it, but he's turned into straight sledgehammer.
Yeah.
That's just what he does.
Yeah, Skip.
I'm going to sledgehammer you until you say uncle, right?
He's going to have to start slipping some of those, Skip. I agree with you. You can't continuously run directly into people. Avoid some of those. You don't have to, it's okay, this notion that, people used to try and shame Franco Harris about running out of bounds. Oh, he's running out of bounds. But you see Franco gets around just perfectly fine. Now he walks, doesn't have a limp.
Hey, nobody ran out of bounds better than Emmitt Smith did.
Yeah.
Is he walking around?
Yeah,
He's doing
just
great.
fine.
Yep.
But Skip, you can't. These guys are too big. You only have so many collisions in your body. And Zeke, be smarter than that. You don't have to run over everybody. We know you, Skip. Everybody, if you play in the NFL, everybody is tough. Now, some players are tougher than others, but you're tough to a certain degree to get to this level.
Yep.
So you need to be smarter than that. But the Eagles' defense, they got to do some soul searching, Skip, because we thought this unit was going to be better. Now, granted, they lose Malik Jackson and Tim Jernigan, and then his backup goes down. The secondary has been in shambles, basically pretty much all year long. But you got to Skip, you got to stop something. You can't let a team run the football at will and be able to throw the ball over your head at will. Because if you do, you're going to get more of this because your offense is not good enough. D-Jack going out, Skip, really hurt this offense because he was the one guy that could take the top off. See, they don't fear anybody taking the top off the coverage anymore. Alshon's really not going to get deep. Aguilar, if he gets deep, there's only a 30% chance he's going to catch the football. So they don't really fear him. So everything going to be shallow to intermediate. And that's the way this Cowboys going to play, and so they're attacking. Dougie, you got to come up with something. I don't know when D-Jack's coming back, but you got to come up with something. They got to do a better job of protecting because Wentz is starting to take too many hits. And he's going to, as sooner or later you start taking this many hits, you're going to start flinching in that pocket. And that's not going to be good.
Agree. One last point before we leave Zeke. There was a screen pass to Zeke early in the second half last night when I thought this is the kind of play. As soon as he caught it, he had two offensive linemen up ahead of him. And I thought, this is gone. Here it is. And look what happens. He's just gone. And guess who gets him from behind? Right. Nathan Gary. Do you know Nathan Gary?
Yeah. I
linebacker out of Nebraska.
Yes.
And again, when Zeke was a rookie, the acceleration on that play would have been house acceleration.
Well, Zach Martin's got to peel back quicker. Okay. He missed him because you know it's coming back from inside. Okay,
but usually Zeke is gone on that play, and Nathan Gary gets him from behind. That's when I said, well, he's Earl Campbell. I'll take Earl Campbell. I can win with Earl Campbell.
Skip, if Zach Martin gets him, he might be out of the house because he got Frederick in front of him. Yeah. So he's got a blocker in front of him.
Yep.
He might hit his head on the goalpost on that one. That might be the Pittsburgh situation where he caught the screen and went 80 yards.
So, big picture. Now, my team is 3-0 in the division.
Yes.
Okay.
One game ahead, obviously, of your Eagles.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you this, and we're going to talk more heavily about it in a little while on the show. But I think your schedule is easier than my schedule down the stretch because my schedule gets tougher and tougher, and you got a tough stretch, and then yours gets pretty easy to close to me, except for the Cowboy visit late in
Nah, you got Chicago, which is a win because you saw Trubisky yesterday.
Yeah.
Ooh. And y'all got Washington. Y'all saw Washington.
That's the last game.
Yeah.
Okay, but we got the Giants first and Washington last in this closing
We're going to talk
stretch.
about the Giants in a minute. You saw that.
Okay, but we have to go Minnesota, Detroit, New England, Buffalo, Chicago, Rams, at Eagles.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Old first cousin. First cousin started to play a little bit.
Not mad about it, guys.
You remember how you talked all that stuff about old first cousin?
I might talk some more about him
really
in
well.
a few minutes.
Okay. Don't talk about him. I'm talking about when they play y'all.
I know.
We got a little something on this.
Are you ready for what's ahead? You can't always predict the future, but you can game plan for it. Generations of families and businesses have harnessed the power of Pacific to help them reach their unique goals. Whether you need to save enough money to meet your needs, ensure your family is protected, or make sure you don't run out of money, Pacific Life has a variety of financial solutions that can help. Pacific Life counts more than half of the 100 largest U.S. companies as its clients and has been named one of the 2019 World's Most Ethical Companies by the Ethisphere Institute, protecting what matters most to people for 150 years and counting. That's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial professional about how Pacific Life can help you game plan for your future, or visit www.pacificlife.com.
No mercy.
So the Packers beat the Raiders yesterday 42-24 in a game where Aaron Rodgers created all 6 of Green Bay's touchdowns. He threw for 429 yards and 5 touchdowns while running for the 6th. It was his first career game with a perfect passer rating and a career high in yards per attempt. The win pushes the Packers' record to 6-1 and keeps them in first place in the NFC North. So, Shannon, is Aaron Rodgers back?
Hell no, because he never went anywhere. He been there for years. Yeah,
I
been
must have been watching. I got to get my TV.
For what?
I got to buy a new one.
Stop it, Skip Bayless. He's still the most gifted thrower of the football that we have in the game. And guess what? He's doing it without Devontae. Because I know a guy that when he doesn't have Amari Cooper, I ain't saying nobody's name, when he doesn't have Amari Cooper, he looks very pedestrian, very mundane. But that's none of my, I don't even know why I brought that up. We talked about
bunch of good
Skip,
young
look, it's my turn to talk.
Okay.
Skip, look. Rodgers is doing what is required to win the game. If you look at him, Skip, there are games that his defense is playing unbelievable. They're running the football. Rodgers does not get in the way. I think the mark of a really great quarterback is to understand, yes, I'm great. I've won MVP. I've won Super Bowls. But today does not require me to be that. Tom Brady's a prime example. Tom Brady, 1 year throws for 500 yards in the Super Bowl, and then the next year he barely cracks 200, but they win. He understands. Today is not the day I need to be Tom Terrific. Today I need to be Tom the game manager. Stay out of the way. Sonny Michel, Rex Burkhead, do what you do. That's what the great ones can do, Skip. It reminds me of John Elway. John Elway was great before TD got there. But at times he understood TD, bring it home. But when teams said, you know what, today we are not going to let Terrell Davis run the football. And that's when old John Elway said, hey, 84.
Who brought it home in last year's Super Bowl?
Oh, Lord.
Who went 5 for 5 in the game-deciding drive, game-winning
The man
drive?
had a 26 QBR rating.
Okay.
A 26.
But who brought it home?
I just get to Skip, don't do that.
Man.
Sonny Michel went over 100 yards.
Oh.
They led the playoffs. Who led the playoffs in rush last year, Skip?
New England.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that Aaron Rodgers understands, and I told you this, Skip, there will come a time that his defense is not going to hold people to 10 points every game. The running game is not going to be able to go for $175 every game. And it's going to require Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers, the transcendent figure we know him to be. And yesterday he was that. Did you see the throw to Aaron Jones? Did you see the throw up the rail to Kumar? Skip, those throws that he still made. I'm talking about, Skip, no stepping into the throws, none of this. I'm talking about just flicking.
Terrible footwork.
No, just Skip, don't do this.
Sideways.
Skip.
I don't know.
Stop it.
Any other coaches say, Aaron, you can't do that.
Skip, don't do that. Today is not the day to criticize. Any other day I would have allowed you to do that. And then he had a drop. So really, theoretically, he was supposed to, be something like, because the guy, Lazar, dropped one that he shouldn't have dropped. A perfect QBR rating, Skip. 5 TD passes, another one rushing. I think they said that the last time that happened was Mark Rippon back in 91, if I'm not mistaken. So you got to go back a long time since we've seen someone do what we saw yesterday. Skip, Aaron Rodgers hadn't gone anywhere. His services just has not been required
Oh,
to
really?
this point.
Boy,
Now,
he took 4 years off. I don't know what happened. Did he just take the last 2 years off when they missed the playoffs?
Skip.
Services not required. I don't know.
Skip, he was injured. He broke his
Oh.
collarbone. And you saw the first game last year when he hurt his knee. He hurt his knee. And
But he kept playing, and Shannon Sharpe tells me no excuses if you walk on the football field.
I want you to remember that.
Yeah.
I want you to remember that when you talk about Amari Cooper. I want you to remember that.
Right.
I would have that same energy.
Yeah.
But Skip, he hadn't gone anywhere. He showed you yesterday what he's more than capable of, and he's still as talented. And guess what, Skip Bayless? I don't know if you noticed that. He back in it. That old MVP race, he's in it.
Oh, is he? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? He's in the MVP?
Yeah.
I got to get a new TV.
Yeah,
now.
you better well get you a new one.
I don't know. Mine must be showing the Twilight Zone because you're in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call. You know what? I'm gonna call my TV guy Roy and have him draw one off. He got one of them old 4K.
Really?
Oh yeah, them LEDs. I'm gonna have him draw one off for you.
How nice of you.
You know, first of all, I just got to make one quick point before we move on. I am offended that you put Aaron Rodgers in the same sentence with Tom Brady, but that's just me.
There you go.
We're going to get struck by lightning.
No,
One
we're
of
not
these
getting
days,
struck by
it's gonna come right through the ceiling.
Want any of that.
And I hope it hits you more than it hits me because I didn't mean it. I didn't do it. It was his fault.
You did.
Yeah. I will give you, yesterday was a blast from the past for Aaron Rodgers. I will give you that he had a hot day in large part because his line protected him like the fragile old man that he is becoming. And by the way, his new coach called him an old man in the locker
I
room
did
when he
like
presented him the game ball. The old man. The old man ran for a touchdown.
Hey, hearing what the media's been saying, mainly led by you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So I'm going to give you that he only got sacked one time, and it was a coverage sack on which he looked for a receiver for, 7 or 8 minutes before they finally dragged him down from behind, and that was it. That's how well he was protected by a line that I think you believe is the best pass-protecting line in football.
One of them.
It's up there, right?
Them and Indy.
Them and Indy, but these guys are really good at pass protecting.
Those tackles are as good as they got. They're good as they're good.
So I'm going to remind everybody who's probably forgotten because we're all prisoners of yesterday's moment, except for me. But over the first 6 games, Aaron Rodgers, speaking of QBR, had a QBR average of 51. That's on a scale of 0 to 100. Yes. So I believe, if memory serves, that ranked 18th in the league. He was 18th in the league with a 51. So he had a really hot day with the high 90s. What was it, 97 QBR? So that vaulted him clear up from 18th all the way to 9th in QBR. What? So wait a second. Dak Prescott is still first in the whole NFL in QBR.
Yeah.
Did you believe that? I don't know how it happened, but through 7 games, Dak is number 1. And by the way, Kyler Murray, we're about to talk about him.
Yes.
He's 8th. He ranks 8th in QBR.
Right.
And I'm going to give you this. Aaron has vaulted off one hot day all the way up to 9th.
Oh, one hot day.
But I'm going to remind you, through the first 6 games, his completion percentage ranked 24th in the league, and his yards per attempt ranked 18th. So those aren't exactly MVP setting the world on fire numbers. And his throwaways through the first 6 games ranked number 1 because he just sets the record every year. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, he just throws it in the third row.
He's not going to put the ball in harm's way, nor should he.
Okay, so the problem the last 2 years, he wouldn't take any chances. Like sometimes there's a tight window, and if you're Aaron Rodgers, you got to throw it through that tight window and win the ball game. And he wouldn't even take the chance at throwing it through the tight window, which is why Mike McCarthy is now not working. That's what happened.
No, Mike McCarthy and I couldn't see eye to eye.
Okay. So I'm just going to remind you that all 4 of the last years, all 4 of the years that his QBR and completion percentage went down, down, down. And again, if you're going to give him the injury excuse last year, I'm not. But again, they missed the playoffs.
Was he not injured?
Well, I don't know. He looked fine to me. He looked
the man
fine.
had a knee brace on for the better.
4-6-1 as starter.
You saw the man have a knee brace on for the better part of half.
Well, I saw LeBron come to a post-game interview.
There you go.
Some kind of soft cast on his right hand.
I don't know. Stop, Skip.
You can put anything on that you want to. It's Halloween, like you can wear whatever costume you want to wear is fine with me.
Just for fun.
So I'm going to remind everybody also that Aaron Rodgers on the final offensive play, second goal from 3-yard line with 28 seconds left against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau on that Thursday night.
Yes.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
he completely failed to see little Darius Shepard, the rookie from North Dakota State, in the flat. Here it is again. You see Darius over there. He's just all alone. Aaron could have underhanded him the ball for the victory, and instead, two Eagles blow the coverage and go with Valdez-Scantling, who's not more than a yard past the line of scrimmage. And Aaron says, I think I'll force the ball to him, a la Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. I'll force it here. And the ball gets popped up in the air, and it gets picked, and the game is over.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers cost the Packers a win that night, and he cost me a big win that I needed because I needed him to beat Philadelphia. Do you realize if he had made that throw to finish that game, that your team now would be 2-5, the Eagles? It was right on a silver platter. Here, Aaron, just underhand him the ball because he's just sitting over there all by his lonesome, and that's the guy you're making a case for as the new MVP candidate.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Skip. And he had to be that yesterday because if you look at them in the red zone, the Raiders were 3 of 6. So just imagine, and remember Derek Carr, he fumbled one out of the end zone.
Can we see that? I just got to see it again because the game is a 14-10 Green Bay game at this point, late in the first half, and I think Oakland's going to seize the lead.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr
he got the
did
lead.
it again.
Yeah.
He did this against Dallas last year. Derek, you have to actually hold on to the ball across the goal line. You can't throw it across.
Right.
Unless there's a new rule. I don't know. You can throw it across the goal line.
Not good.
If you notice, what's the one team you never see guys do that? The New England Patriots.
Aha.
You've never seen them do that.
Tom Brady would never even try that.
You don't even, Skip, you don't even see their receivers, their running back.
Nope.
Because, look, if we can't get it in there from with 3 cracks or 2 cracks, we don't deserve to score. The ball is more important in our possession as opposed to going out of the back of the end zone. But can you imagine the day if the Raiders had scored there and he needs to get into a scoring match with Derek Carr? Can you imagine the numbers?
Yep.
You're talking about maybe a 600-yard day.
Maybe. Is Khalil Mack still a Raider?
No, he's not. Don't do that. Well, that's John Gruden's fault. Talk about John Gruden. They ain't got nothing to do with that. All Aaron, like you tell me, all they can do is play who's on the schedule. And the Raiders were on the schedule. They came there, and Aaron put foots in them. Skip, at some point in time, just give a man credit for that day. We're not going to talk about, okay, last year they didn't make the playoffs. The year before they didn't make the playoffs. But just yesterday, talk about that virtuoso.
Well, that's all you got to hang on to is one day because we see quarterbacks have hot days all the time in this league.
Not like this.
Not
like this. A virtuoso.
You know, speaking of virtuoso performances, blasts from the past, did you see the first throw of the second half that he made to Valdez-Scantling, who was wide open for a touchdown? Do you remember this throw? Can we see this? It's the first play of the second half.
What did he do?
And it looks like it's just a home run throw. Here it is. First play of the second half. I'm not sure this is it. Oh, that's not exactly the one I was thinking of. There's one to Valdez-Scantling. Maybe I've got the wrong video there. But the point was, he was just gone, and he underthrew it about 15 yards. I don't see the deep arm he used to have.
He still got it.
He used to be able to throw it 70 yards by flicking it. No. And now I don't see that. He's got the short flicks. He's got the intermediate flicks.
You see that rail throw to Kumaro? In cover 2, he just flicked it right there, and he tightrope down the sideline.
But that was run after catch, right?
And Jimmy Graham, you see the one to Jimmy Graham?
Okay, well, he just flicked it sideways. It was almost like a no-look pass. It was a little low. Jimmy had to pick it up off the carpet. Did he?
Don't do that, Skip.
I mean, maybe Shannon Sharpe could have caught it, but Jimmy Graham picked it.
It's about time because he tossed him. Remember the other one he dropped it, Philly?
I didn't think that was a perfect throw. I thought it was hard to catch.
You put it in a situation where only your guy can catch it, and it's either it's an incompletion or it's a touchdown.
How far did Kumaro run? Like 25 more yards after he caught it?
Skip, 31.
And that came after the Derek Carr muff play, right?
25 or 31, 429, 5 TDs. Perfect. I'm trying to figure out why didn't he get a perfect QBR or QB rating? Why not?
You know what? My quarterback against Aaron Rodgers threw for 463 in one game. He threw for 329 and a half.
And where did he come to? And where did he come?
Where did he come to?
Yep.
He got bottle service.
No, you didn't get
So for 463?
Yeah, for them hot L's.
Ooh.
Yeah, I served him them hot L's. That's what he deserved to
Boy,
get.
that was impressive.
But Skip, why you won't get a man credit? Skip, just
I give it. He had a hot day. I give it to him.
A hot day?
Yeah, but over the last 4 years, you've had to eat a lot of fried crow on this show over Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going to give you one day.
Maybe for the season, But not when it comes to playing your Cowboys. I ain't but Crow but one.
Really? Well, all I know is that the other Aaron was the star of the game against my Cowboys because Aaron Jones took the Cowboy game over, not Aaron Rodgers. He did not hurt us.
And remember, I told you there are going to be times that Aaron Jones and Williams are not going to be able to run the football. 23 carries, 60 yards. So Aaron, bring us home. Deliver us.
Really?
And he let them. Yeah.
Like you're switching your NFC
No.
You still got the Eagles?
No, Skip. You know how I feel.
Okay.
You know how I feel about this guy. I don't know why you won't give him the credit he deserves. He's just the best quarterback in the NFC.
Best quarterback
I've
in the
always
NFC?
respected the guy.
You know,
I mean, look.
he used to be.
Skip.
I give you that.
I mean, Russell had a tough one yesterday. But if you think Aaron Rodgers is not in the MVP equation,
Really?
you're terribly mistaken.
The numbers scream wrong.
What about them touchdown numbers? What is he? How many interceptions he got?
He does
like
that
one?
every year. Yeah.
What he at?
How about QBR? How about completion
Oh,
percentage?
he's ninth in QBR.
How about throwaways?
He's ninth in QBR. By the end of the year, he gonna be top 5.
Wait, is the guy who's first in QBR in the MVP discussion?
No.
No? Oh, we should discuss that. Maybe we will.
12,
Maybe
hold
we
up.
will.
With 12 touchdowns and 7 picks?
Well, I don't know. QBR says different.
No, QBR, no. QBR doesn't tell the whole story.
Okay.
See, I keep telling you, you need to read the whole story. All you want to do is open the book, be in. Tell in the beginning and in the middle. There's a lot to this book, Skip Bayless. There's chapters.
Really?
And all you want to do.
I would not know that.
You know what I want you to do? All you do, you get Dak. When it come to Dak, all you do is flip the pages.
Yeah.
You ain't doing no reading. You just flipping the pages, and then you close the book. Oh, no, I'm reading these pages here.
I had to
Every
read a
single
couple
line.
that way at Vanderbilt. I had to because
Are you admitting to that?
Well, I had to. I
Skim
couldn't get
reading?
to like English literature, like Old English, like
I just
19th
can't
century
believe that, Skip.
British novels. Can't get through those.
You never
Boy.
did that.
No.
Right? No cutting corners.
Did all my work.
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I did my girlfriend's homework. Yeah, I flipped the script.
That's why she flunked.
I flipped the script.
So nice of you.
Well, she didn't do quite as well once I left and go into the NFL. Let's put it like that.
She needed you.
Yeah.
All right.
No mercy.
With some rain falling at the Meadowlands, Cliff Kingsbury decided to focus on the ground game, making Chase Edmonds the star of the game. He steamrolled the Giants for 126 yards and 3 TDs. Maybe more impressive was the Cards' defense, though. Sacked Daniel Jones 8 times while forcing a pick and 2 lost fumbles. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray threw for just 104 yards, but did not have a turnover. So there's that. So, Shannon, how much better was Kyler than good old Danny Dimes?
Not much, because he wasn't asked to do much. Skip, as Jenny read, they turned it over to the guy, and he ran the ball 27 carries, $126, 3 touchdowns, and he had 3 touchdown runs of 20-plus yards or more. You don't see that very often. You don't see a guy rush for that kind of yardage and have 3 touchdowns in excess of 20 yards. So that lets you know they were running the ball very, very effectively. Kyler Murray, 14 of 21. He was slightly above 100 yards on 21 pass attempts. So that just lets you know he was really, really managing the game. And the thing, if you're managing the game, the last thing you can do is turn it over. He did a great job of that.
Okay.
The mistake that Daniel Jones made, he turned it over.
Okay.
They sacked him 8 times. He turned it over. Daniel Jones turned it over himself 3 times. They fell behind 17-0. Skip, when you fall behind 17-0, what a lot of teams will do, it'll take you out of being able to run the football, because Saquon was back for the first time in about, a month. So he was back. So it really took him out of the equation, because now you let Daniel Jones throw. And what he did, pick, fumble, they getting after Chandler Jones, T-Sizzle. You see Sizzle starting to heat it up. Baltimore could really use him right about now, because he still could get after the quarterback, Skip. And so that's why I'm saying, if you take Daniel Jones and put him on the other side and let Chase Edmonds run the ball like that and say, son, we don't need you to make any dynamic plays, and you take Kyler Murray and you put him behind that porous offensive line, the Giants, because we've seen, Skip, when Kyler Murray, when he struggles, he doesn't get the protection and they can't run the football. So he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. Didn't do a whole lot on the ground, but I don't think enough goes to the quarterback, Skip, when we only grade quarterbacks if he throw like an Aaron Rodgers. He has that type of day. But sometimes, if he doesn't put the ball in harm's way and he just manages the game, he doesn't interject himself into it. Well, I'm the quarterback. I'm the number one pick. Let me throw this ball. Let me show you what I can do. He didn't do that. Hand the ball off, boom, boom, and they get out there with a win. And lo and behold, they won 2-3 in a row. Ta-da.
So, you forgot to mention the key fact. Jenny actually did mention.
Which one?
It was in a driving rain yesterday at Giants.
Yes.
Driving rain. It was the same kind of rain that turned that Washington-San Francisco game into a mud bowl.
Yeah,
right?
I hated playing in the rain.
Not fun.
The coach used to be like, come on, 84, catch the ball. I'm like, hell, I'm not in the gym. You see what's going on out here?
Thank you.
It's hard.
Yeah,
Thank
it is
you.
hard.
So they just had to shut down the passing game, and he did become a game manager, and he did only have 104 yards passing because they just didn't try to throw a whole lot. And I was impressed that Cliff Kingsbury, fresh out of Texas Tech, who just loves to wing it all over the lot, said, you know what, today, no,
That's good.
we're not going to do it. And to your point, Kyler Murray looked like a seasoned pro to me because he just said, well, I'm not going to try that, and I'm not going to try that, and he didn't do anything stupid. Did
Check
take
down.
a couple of sacks that he probably shouldn't have taken, but he tries to make things happen. But here's what I loved about Kyler Murray yesterday. He set the tone for this game because they did have 8 conversions on 3rd and 4th down. But early on, and by the way, 7 of those 8 were by Kyler with his arm or legs. So here's the opening scoring drive for the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd and 5 at the Arizona 30, Kyler Murray threw for a first down to Larry Fitz. 3rd and 6 at the Arizona 46, Kyler Murray threw for a first down to Clay, his veteran tight end. 4th and 3 at the Giants 35, he hit my guy Trent Sherfield from Vanderbilt University for another first down conversion, and they go in and score 7-0.
Right.
And I think they discovered somebody yesterday named Chase Edmonds. And guess what? He's Kyler's size against the quote-unquote giants from the New York Football Giants. 2 little men, and they're both little men because they're both about 5'9". I know they give Kyler 5'10", barely 5'10".
We used to see him running back small.
I know.
We never see quarterback like that.
Okay, but they're the same size.
Yes.
They're both like 5'9"-ish, 5'9.5"-ish. And 2'5", 210, somewhere in there. Kyler was 2'7" at the combine. So they're the same size guy. And little Chase Edmonds, a 4th-round pick out of Fordham 2 years ago, I loved his patient burst because he wasn't running like a first or second year guy. He would wait, and then hit the hole with like shot out of a cannon right into the end zone. And I love to watch him because I think together they could do some things in this league. I like how they complement each other.
You see what's happening, Skip. In 5-star, Daniel Jones have 11 turnovers. There are a few teams in the league, Skip, that they're good enough they overcome turnovers. The Giants are not one of those teams. They're not good enough that they can overcome his bad play.
Yep.
And what we're seeing is that, you notice you hadn't heard Pat Sherman come to the mic and say, hey, I know what we thought of him. That's why we selected you. He ain't said anything like that lately, huh, Skip?
Okay.
Let it play out, Pat. Come on, you've been around the game long enough.
Let it play out.
11 turnovers, Skip. You can't overcome that kind of play.
By the way, that's already tied with Baker Mayfield for the most among quarterbacks in the National Football League. Aha!
And
that's that
Didn't
guy.
take long.
You can't turn the ball over because your team is not good enough defensively or offensively to overcome that kind of bad play.
Yep.
Give Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury. Skip, and the thing is, I was watching some of this game yesterday, and they tried to go 3 tight ends, and they couldn't move the ball. So he said, scrap that. I'm going to run the ball, Skip, from the formation. I'm going to go 11 personnel and run the ball. And they ran the ball better from 11 personnel than they did from jumbo. Hey, Kyler Murray did a great job. He didn't get in the way. He didn't let his ego, I want to throw the ball. I want to prove everybody that I can throw the ball. He's like, nah. Why would I want to throw the ball when y'all can't stop this little man running the football?
Yep.
Stop that, and then we'll talk about maybe me throwing it. But you allow 8 sacks and 3 turnovers, you losing.
Aha. So maybe that nickname Danny Dimes was a little premature.
Too soon?
And I'm sure somebody's used this in Giants Nation, but I'm thinking they are going to start calling him Danny Dams, as in, damn, Danny. That's like there's another one. There's another one.
Well, Dimes, he change.
Right.
Chump change.
Yeah, chump change. That's right. That's a lot of
Because right now, Skip Bayless, he's not playing good. He's not playing well. You can't turn the ball over.
And he starts to have that look, what I tell you about that underconfident overachiever look, because that's what he was when he wound up at Duke. He's unrecruited coming out of high school. And again, Am I impressed with his size and his speed? Yes. And every once in a while he makes a throw where I say, woo, that's pretty good.
I mean, they threw a lot, and that's what you do, Skip. They threw a lot at him. They brought. You saw Pat Pete come off the edge, and hit him in his back, and hit him in his back, and they have several opportunities to get more interceptions. This could have been an 8-sack, 5 or 6 turnover day for him.
How about the touchdown throw to Rhett Ellison? Do you remember this in the first quarter? It was his best throw of the day, quote unquote. Yeah. Tell me, if we could see this play, tell me Buda Baker shouldn't have come and picked this. Like, what's Buda Baker doing? He just stops.
He thought it was going to be overthrown because he's playing for the pick.
I know. It's like the weirdest play. But what are you doing, Buda? Just go up and get your hands on the ball. He's just sitting back there.
Odd.
Yeah, he's playing for
it's really an ill-advised throw to start off with, and Buda just stands back there and just come play the ball, man.
Go blow him up.
Yeah, go blow him up or go blow the ball up or something. I don't know. But now Kyler Murray has won 3 straight games, albeit against bad teams. I give you that. But Arizona, we thought was a bad team, right?
Yeah.
So now they've won 3 games, including, or not including, but that on top of the tie.
Right.
The tie was on opening day against Detroit. Detroit's pretty good. They're not great, but they're pretty good. That was at Arizona. But still, Kyler's off to a pretty great start, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So I would like to show something that happened Saturday night because I immediately tweeted about it because it just really linked up to me in my subconscious. How about the walk-off shot from Jose Altuve that sent Houston to the World Series? Look at this. Off Chapman. He got Aroldis Chapman with this ball, and he just jacked it. And to me, have you ever seen a little man hit a ball harder than he routinely hits balls? I mean, all the Yankees are saying the guy you don't want to see up at that point is that little man.
Yeah.
And I immediately tweeted about Kyler. I said, if Jose Altuve can do that, Kyler Murray can be a star NFL QB.
Yeah.
Such clutch power for such a little man. I'm talking about Altuve.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, Kyler is that guy.
Right.
He's that little man with some stature.
Right.
He's stout. And again, he ran around all day yesterday. Not once did he take a threatening hit to me because he knows how to protect himself.
He does.
And he's so quick, he can get out of harm's way quicker than you can inflict it upon him.
Yeah. The Cardinals, I did not envision them having this type of record at this point of the season. I thought they'd win probably 3 or 4 games throughout the entirety of the season, Skip. I didn't see this the first half of the season, them being, 3-3-1.
3-3-1.
3-3-1.
They only had 3 wins last season.
Right.
So this is some progress.
But, man, San Francisco is better than we thought, Skip.
Yeah.
The 49ers are better than 49ers are going to be good.
Well,
and the Rams.
I think New Orleans is better than we thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's where Kyler's
we thought New Orleans was going to be good, but we thought they'd be good with Drew Brees. We didn't think they'd be playing this good with Teddy Bridgewater. And Drew's thinking about coming back. That's going to be, What do they do, Skip? That's going to be very interesting. What does Sean Payton do?
Yeah, by the way, to finish up on Altuve, that means the Astros play the Nationals in Game 1 of the World Series on Fox tomorrow night.
Boy, that's going to be some pitching. Strasburg, Sanchez against those big 3, Cole, Verlander, Greinke.
I'll take Altuve's team. Just me.
Seriously.
Because they complete those.
The celebration of that.
Because they can hit and they can pitch. I ain't rooting for the Astros. They beat my Yankees. No, I ain't.
You're done?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well,
root for no. You think I'm gonna root for them and they beat my team?
They did. They beat them.
Yankees are your team?
Yeah.
Where did always like where did they come from? Just
always, because they was always the only team that came on.
Front runner.
No, they used to come on Game of the Week.
LeBron-esque front runner.
Skip, you remember Joe Garagiola and Tony Kubek?
Yeah.
They used to come on, and the Yankees was one of the game of the week. Yankees and the Reds was one of the teams that we always saw.
So is it possible LeBron loves the Yankees and the Cowboys? Is it possible you're a closet Cowboy fan?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I don't think that's the case.
No mercy.
The Cowboys offense started with a bang last night, hanging 27 points on the Eagles in the first half. With the offensive line paving the way, Ezekiel Elliott ran the ball for 111 yards and a score, and Dak Prescott made big play after big play, with many going to Amari Cooper, who caught 5 passes for 106 yards. Dak also scored his 21st career rushing TD, breaking a tie with Roger Staubach for most by a QB in Cowboys franchise history. Not so bad. Shannon, what grade, though, would you give Dak for his performance?
Yeah, I thought Dak played really well. That's why I gave him a C.
A C?
Man,
I feel like C
the
is
Dak
kinda
hate across the
average.
table knows no bounds.
Skip.
C
I
for
gave
that?
him a C.
Wow, usually it's an F. Maybe it is.
I mean, think about it. I'm going to let this sink in.
grading on the
All right, break it down.
Let this sink in for a second. The Eagles have a very, 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 very bad secondary, and I think they're like 28th or 29th in pass defense.
Yeah.
They improved. After they played the Cowboys, they got beat 37-10. Their pass defense improved. Now, this is what they did against Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers threw for 422, 2 touchdowns. Case Keenum, 380, 3 touchdowns. Kirk, First Cousins, 333, 4 touchdowns. Matt Ryan, 320, 3 tubs. Dak Prescott yesterday, 209, 1 TD. You see?
209. I got 239. Don't short him.
Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, 239. My bad.
Thank you. You're trying to make him sound bad.
You do not miss a thing, Skip.
My bad. 230.
Nothing.
239, which is 90 yards less than everybody else at the bare minimum.
Yeah. How'd Carson Wentz do?
Well, of it, Skip Bayless. He didn't go.
They played in the same game.
Hold on, first of all, if Carson was throwing against his secondary, he probably threw for 500. But that's not here nor there.
Wait, Carson Wentz didn't even break the 200 mark.
Skip, we're not
He's
talking about
191.
Skip.
You like that?
You're the runner. It's my turn. It's my turn to tell you.
Okay.
You gonna let me explain to you why I get Skip. I gave him a C because I do not believe that they won this game because of Dak Prescott. Skip, you saw him throwing the ball to Amari Cooper. I thought he threw one great ball yesterday. One great ball. And that was the rail throw to Jalen Mills when he hit Amari up the rail. Other than that, guys were wide open. The touchdown. Was that guy not? Was he not wide open? Skip the touchdown end zone. Was he not wide open? Yesterday.
I didn't even write it on my list.
Oh, good.
Okay? That's another one. That's an Aaron Rodgers memorial. Just throw it underhand.
Okay. And what about the sluggo when he hit Amari up the rail? I don't know.
Sweet.
What is
that
Doug,
not a good throw?
What is Douglas thinking?
See, that's the throw Carson Wentz misses.
Stop it.
Yeah, he does.
You do stop. But Skip, and the thing is, the accuracy is still a problem.
Really?
Yes. Did you saw it last night? And I had the DJ cut this mix up. Got a remix for me going on right now, right quick. Yeah. Oh, Dak Prescott. Now, Skip, there's a reoccurring theme that we've seen every game this year in its own slant patterns that we keep seeing. DJ, drop the beat right quick. I'm gonna keep talking over it in the background. Now, you see this, Skip Bayless, right here.
Yeah.
You see that right there, Skip?
I saw a drop, is what I saw.
Now, we keep seeing the Skip.
Yeah.
Every game this year, we've seen at least one of those.
Did Gallup catch the second one?
No, he caught, but
yes.
but I'm sure, Skip, he caught it, but it wasn't an accurate throw.
So you pick out like one throw in the whole game, and you say, that wasn't accurate.
Skip.
Do you know how many times Carson Wentz misses receivers? He'll have like 8 misfires a game.
Skip.
Yeah.
The question, Jenny, can you repeat the question?
We're talking about Dak, and
Yes.
I would like a letter grade
Thank you.
for his performance.
I would appreciate it, Mr.
So
Bayless.
just for that,
Dak.
you're giving him a C?
Skip, I would appreciate it if you leave other quarterbacks out of this. I will grade them at a later date and time. But at this time, Mr. Prescott is the only one that took the exam.
Yeah.
And Mr. Prescott got a C because I do not feel that he was accurate, and I feel against that secondary, given what they had given up against other quarterbacks that you feel that of all the quarterbacks that's played against that secondary, you say Dak's the best. He's better than Rodgers, better than Keenum, better than Cousins, better than Ryan. Yet he was 100 yards. He was almost 200 less than Rodgers, 150 less than Keenum, 100 less than Cousins, and about 85 less than Matt Ryan. The defense improves.
Less than Rodgers? Rodgers had a pedestrian night. On Thursday night?
He had 422.
On Thursday night?
Yeah,
I
against
don't
the
remember
Eagles.
him having that many.
Yeah!
I just remember the last pass where he completely missed Darius Shepard.
He did that, Skip, but I'm just saying, he had 422
okay.
in case Keenum lost, but he had 380. But I'm saying their defense improved passing-wise after playing the Cowboys. And you're like, huh? But that just goes to show you. Skip, I'm just not seeing the consistent accuracy.
Really?
Yes, he made a rail throw up the side on Jalen Mills, but that was the best throw I saw of the night. The rest of the throws, you and I could have made 4 or 5 of those throws.
Really? Wow.
C.
Interesting.
And you're not changing my mind. C. But come in and do some extra credit. You might can get it up next
really?
week. Yeah.
I don't need to do any extra
credit
because all the apples come onto this side of the table. And speaking of Apple, I'm going to go A-. A is for Apple, A
minus.
minus. Yep,
Stop
because
it.
I loved how my quarterback played under the circumstances against the division arch rival.
You're right.
With all the chips pushed to the middle of the table, both teams 3-3, make or break, north or south. My team had lost 3 straight games, and my quarterback came out and immediately set the tone. And again, they're a balanced football team, so it takes Zeke and Dak, Dak and Zeke, Zeke and Dak. They balance it up. But all I know is my quarterback threw 5 balls to Amari Cooper. And what happened, Mr. Sharpe?
He caught 'em all.
Caught all 5 for 106 yards. All I know is the Eagles blitzed my quarterback 7 times. And what happened last night on the 7 blitzes? He completed every ball against every blitz. He went 7 for 7 versus blitzes.
I mean, hell, they telegraphed the blitz. They called him, hey, Dak, we finna blitz.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Interesting. Then I saw 2 drops last night. One to Zeke. It just hit him right in the hands, right in the middle of the field. He could have run for another at least 10 yards. And then that throw that you just showed when you dropped that track down at the goal line.
Yep.
Michael Gallup, who's a very close friend of Dak's, you have to just slow up and catch it because it's right there. It's just right there. You have to catch the ball.
Skip, why do they
Every
keep
ball's
happening?
not going to be perfect
Skip,
from
why-
any quarterback.
but Skip-
Tom Brady throws a couple of balls every game that are a little behind, little off, and they catch them.
But Skip, every game, we see that. At least once or twice a game. Every game. And it's
wait a second.
always on those plays.
He goes 21 of 27. That should have been 23 of 27.
Nope.
And if it's 23, then he's got 250, 260, which is a really good night's work.
No.
And yet, all the key throws in the game that he had to make, the tone setters. Can I show you the first one that he threw that was just a rifle shot? It was 3:58 left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 8 from the 27. 3rd and 8. Look at this shot that he throws to Randall Cobb. That's a hard throw, and that hits him right where he can catch it, and only he can catch it. And that inspired Chris Collinsworth to say on the NBC telecast that the Eagles are saying, they were telling Chris before the game, whenever they met with him yesterday, that, boy, Dak's throwing it so much better than he did last year. He threw parties on them last year twice, at Philly and at Jerry World. The last 10 games when he got Amari, he led the whole league in completions last year. How can you be inaccurate and lead the whole league over the last 10 games of the season in completions? I don't know. You tell me he's inaccurate.
Because you got the league lead in Russia. Play action.
How can you be inaccurate and throw for 243 in the fourth quarter and overtime against the Eagles last year at home, at Jerry World? 243? So that means my quarterback has beaten your quarterback now 3 straight times and outplayed him 3 straight times. Payback?
Yeah.
Really?
When you come there.
Interesting.
When y'all come to whatever it's called, Century Link Field or whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever it's called. So I'm going to admit publicly that I was for once a little disappointed in the QBR that
wait. I wasn't going to bring that up.
Okay.
Because I know you're disappointed.
He got a 65, and I don't really know how you can do a 65.
I do.
He took a couple of sacks.
Yep.
And he had one ball that you say was behind, and again, it should have been caught, but I didn't see any other inaccurate passes the whole night.
Hold on, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Tavon Austin is what, 5'8"? Why would you throw him a jump ball when he's double covered?
Because you're going for the kill shot, and I'm glad you brought that up because I'm sure this Dak got docked for, and it's with 11:16 left in the game, and it's pretty much a runaway at this point. And your man had just thrown a pick right to Xavier Woods, and Dak comes right back and says, "I'm going for the kill shot," and the ball was where it was supposed to be, but Jalen Mills made a heck of a play on this ball. This ball is a touchdown if Jalen Mills doesn't catch up, get up, and snatch it.
We can't do that.
Yeah. Well, again, was that ball where it was supposed to be?
No, yeah.
Was that an Aaron Rodgers underthrow?
No. It should have never thrown. I mean, Tavon Austin.
What circumstance of the game? I thought QBR took into consideration circumstance. He's going for the throat. You just try it and hope Tavon can be just a split second behind Jalen Mills where the ball will just fall right in his breadbasket. And it almost did.
And guess what?
It was a good throw.
And guess what I took into account?
Good throw.
Guess what I took into account?
No.
Dak took the test and got an answer wrong.
Really?
So I marked it wrong.
Okay.
So in other words, that's why he got a C. Plays like that and the inaccurate throw to Michael Gallup. 2 of those, he caught one. The inaccuracy. Now.
Interesting. So he did have a 65 QBR,
65.
but your guy, Carson Wentz, had a 29. Yikes.
Skip.
29?
I want you to stop. No, I'm not going to let you do that. We're not talking about what we're doing.
You've always told me that Wentz is better than Dak.
Skip. Wentz did not play well yesterday.
Okay.
But this topic is not about Wentz. It's about Dak.
Yeah, but you told me that Aaron Rodgers was great, so he's back
He is.
off one game.
But it was the topic.
We can't condemn Wentz off one game, can we? Or that's what doesn't.
Hold on.
2 + 2 don't equal.
First of all, I didn't say Rodgers was back. I said, hell, he never went anywhere.
Never left.
You can't call it a comeback when the man never left. He's been here for years.
For 4 years.
Yeah, he left nowhere. Stop it.
Down.
Stop it.
2 years without the playoffs, and you're a transcendent thrower of the football?
Your guy is trying to reach the levels in which Aaron Rodgers is hovering at. Now, when Aaron Rodgers steps on the gas and go to that rare air that very few quarterbacks can get to, only a handful of quarterbacks has ever breathed that air. That rarefied, that go up there, Skip, only a handful. Only a hand. And guess what? Dak is not in that hand. He's not one of those fingers, so he's not in that hand, Jenny.
So help me out. Through 7 NFL games this year, I don't know how it happened, but Dak Prescott off at only a 65 last night still leads the whole league in QBR. How do you explain that?
But
he's inaccurate, but he leads the whole league in QBR. How do you explain that? It's impossible.
You would think a guy that leads the league. You would think a guy that leads the league in QBR would lead the league in another category. What about touchdown passes? How about yards?
How about yards passing? He's third in the league in yards passing. How about completion percentage? Because he's so inaccurate, he's third in the league in completion percentage. How could that be?
What about
he's
touchdown
so
passes?
Inaccurate.
What about touchdown passes?
That he's a bust.
What about that? I mean, the guy got. Hold on. My homeboy is 15-1, and he ain't gonna play for a while. 15-1. He got 1 INT, and he got more yards.
Well, I don't know.
What about
QBR says just screaming that my guy's better than your guy.
Your guy has 12 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Okay. Well, I told you 3 of him were.
They know 3 of nothing.
His fault.
No, they were no fault.
Yep.
They were his fault.
Okay. And last night's Hail Mary was worth the risk. And he got docked for it, but he doesn't care. He's not a stats guy.
Yeah, he is.
Not a stats
He's just
guy.
the leader of the team.
Skip. I'm not debating whether he's a leader or not.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that he got a C. Okay, Skip, I didn't fail him.
C seems harsh.
Skip, you make it seem like I failed a guy. I didn't fail him.
One bad answer, though, isn't a C.
C is average. So that was an average game for you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Average. I don't know, 27-point win.
Under the circumstances, I thought he was extraordinary.
I thought under the circumstances that defense played lights out. I thought they gave him 2 very short fields. Yes.
He cashed both times.
And I'm not saying he didn't.
Did he hurt him with his legs? Did he score a touchdown with his legs?
Oh, look.
Did that not break Roger Staubach's Cowboy rushing
Also
touchdown record as quarterback?
Wow. Skip. So what?
A minus.
I don't think.
You know what? If I keep going, I might have to go up to an A.
I don't think Troy Aikman woke up this morning like, damn, that pass got more rushing touchdown than me.
No.
You think Troy?
Roger Staubach.
Yeah, I don't think Troy or Tony or none of the. Well,
but I mean, Roger was Roger Dodger.
Yeah.
That was his whole career.
Yeah.
It was a 10-year career.
Yeah. But Skip, you got to realize, but he had to serve 4 years in the military. He was like 26, 27 when he got to the NFL.
28.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on,
Had
Skip.
to quit at 38 with concussion.
Concussion, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Still, 10
either
years.
way.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up a 27-point win for the Cowboys, their biggest since 1998 over the Eagles. So you know what? I was about 12, so that one had to feel good for you, Skip. Do you remember back in 98?
No. It's a long time ago, and I don't even care about it.
Don't worry about it.
I think that's a good thing.
Payback.
It's a huge number.
Watch payback gonna be just like y'all beat them down last night. They'll return the favor in Philly.
It's that B word, as you say, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
You know, karma. That's what I love so much about karma, Jenny. Karma is patient. Sometimes it'll take its time and just creep, and sometimes it's Amazon Prime. It'll drop it off the same day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that example. Thank you for sharing.
But yours coming.
No mercy.
The 12th man was silenced by one man yesterday. Lamar Jackson solidified his case as an MVP candidate after rushing for 116 yards, including a crucial 8-yard touchdown run on 4th down. With 9 games left to play, Lamar's third 100-yard rushing game this season has already tied the NFL record for QBs. And this game marked just the second time that an AFC team has ever beaten Russell Wilson in Seattle. And after the game, Jadeveon Clowney called Lamar, quote, the new era Michael Vick. Well, look who is joining us now. Michael, good to have you. You agree? Well, there you go. Does Lamar have a realistic chance to be better than you when all this is said and done?
Yes, I think so, and I say that because Lamar's in a system that was designed to fit his skill set, and John Harbaugh and Greg Roman spent this entire season putting this system together to go out and execute it. And Lamar had this type of experience in college. It was he was in Petrino's offense. And they did some similar things, but they was more on the pass-heavy side. Now it's a system where it's predicated towards running the football and attacking the defense in that fashion. And he's doing some things within the run game and in the passing game when he's looking downfield, nothing's open, takes off and scrambles and make things happen. And I didn't have this type of system until 2006. I ran for 1,000 yards. And it's evident that Lamar is going to rush for 1,000 yards this season and years beyond. So I look forward to watching him progress as a passer. And in the run game, because that's not going to change until he says, okay, I want to change my game and look different. You know, coming to the game as a passer first, and then his abilities to run.
So what happened in 2006? What changed?
It was more wildcat style. It was more read options, zone read. And we put that into place, studied it all off season. Nobody knew exactly what was coming, and you know, I was just
calling plays then?
Greg Knapp. So we went from the West Coast system to a system where we still had all the same concepts, but we was mixing in all the zone read stuff, and it caught everybody off guard. By the time they adjusted, I was already, 800-900 yards in. Wasn't the best season, but just very effective. So I think Lamar is going to be, yes, he's going to surpass some of the things that I was able to accomplish. Even though I did some great things and it was, some freaky stuff happened. But
a lot of
he's doing the same thing. And it's just exciting to see. I sat back yesterday and I watched the game and I'm like, oh, this is what it looked like. Had me on the edge of my seat, and it's very impressive, man. And just, shout out to the coaches, because they're the guys that put the system in place and game plan and said, look, we are going to use this guy's talents and take advantage of what he can do and put pressure on defense.
So are you okay he's running as much as he continues to run?
Yes, while he's young. When I was in my first and second year, I could take hits, pop back up. I had a running back's mentality. And nothing was going to change that. I knew our best chance at winning, could come in the passing game, and I would make my plays in the passing game. But my running abilities was going to take effect at some point, and I was going to use them to the best of my abilities and not worry about getting hurt, not worry about how many hits I'm taking, just go out and play lights out. And he's having fun at this stage, and that's why I say at some point he'll continue to diversify his game in the passing game, but longevity is going to be the key. How long can he sustain it? How long can he keep it up? And we'll see what happens.
You mentioned John Harbaugh, who's the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, but Greg Roman, and people need to take this back to Greg Roman. Greg Roman was in San Francisco. Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator. When the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, he was the offensive coordinator. And who was the quarterback?
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, the guy that in a playoff game ran for 181, threw for 263. So this is why Marty Morningwig was the offensive coordinator last year. This is why John Harbaugh wanted Greg Roman as his offensive coordinator, because he has already diagrammed and designed a system to fit a quarterback with that skill set. And see the luxury that Lamar has, that Mike, that you didn't have, is that he can learn from all the mistakes that you made on the field. He can say, and you talk to him. You says, well, this is the mistake that I made here. Lamar says, I can stay away from that trap. Well, I made a mistake there. I can stay away from that trap. So he gets an opportunity, Skip, to learn from someone that came. I don't know if you talked to anybody, because there weren't a whole lot of guys that had your skill set. Randall Cunningham comes to mind, and people don't realize how talented Randall was, Skip. But if I'm not mistaken, Randall led the nation in punting as a senior at UNLV, Skip. People don't realize just how talented he was. But Lamar has the luxury of leaning back on this guy. Lamar is a little different. You had flat inline speed that you can just go. But Lamar can shake you. Lamar got wiggle. If you look at it, guys trying to, he'll start doing this, and the next thing you know, he's past you. And he's doing a good job of getting down. He's not taking that big shot yet, and they're running him just enough. What makes him so difficult, Skip, is the thing that makes these guys like he and Mahomes and some of these other guys, Skip, okay, there's a play call. You have a defense designed to stop that play. Okay, what happens when you have that play covered and then he takes off running? What play did you call to stop that? because that's where he's going to hurt you. It's already tough enough if they call a design run to try to get him on the ground. But when they call a pass play and you scatter, and now he sees a crease,
right.
He jumps out the window, good luck.
Good luck.
And when that defense is opportunistic, and I told you, you got to watch out for Marcus Peters, Skip. Russell forgot him.
He got him.
Big addition.
He's an area corner. He doesn't like to play a man. He likes to play an area. And he'll play 2-by-1. And Russell forgot. He snuck off like he was going to cover one up the rail. And then Russell tried to come out late, and he jumped it.
It's instincts.
But Lamar Jackson, Skip, he's ahead of where I thought he would be throwing the football.
Yep.
And I said this. Ozzie, I talked to Ozzie at the Hall of Fame. He said, boy,
Ozzie Newsome.
who was the general manager for 20 years.
Yep.
He said, boy, he's better than you think throwing the football. He said, we're going to surprise a lot of people. He said, he's going to surprise a lot of people. I'm like, Ozzie, don't bull jive me now.
Yeah.
He said, he's going to surprise a lot of people, boy.
There you go.
And Skip, throwing the football, he surprised some people. He's not surprised me, his running ability. Yeah. You don't rush for 1,500 yards in college, Skip, and all of a sudden forget how to run. But he did throw for 3,500 one year, too.
Yeah.
So people forget that he can throw, but just could he transfer what he could do in college? Could he transfer? And he's just going to get better and better. The question is longevity. You can't, running quarterbacks don't have a long shelf life.
Yep.
He's going to have to, to graduate real quickly into more passing than running. But Skip, he's the real deal.
He is so real that the most significant statement I heard after any game yesterday came from Pete Carroll after this game. And he said, and I paraphrase his quote, he was much faster than we saw on film. Now, that's a statement from a guy who's been around
really
a long
yesterday.
time.
He looked really fast yesterday.
Yes.
He was flying. He said he changed his shoes early because he couldn't get traction.
Right.
He said, went back to my old ones. And because he said linebackers were catching him for a while. And once he started flying, he was flying. Remember, Pete Carroll's been around a long time. He coached a lot of defense.
Yes.
All the way back to all those stud defenses at USC. And so he knows fast. He coached Reggie Bush. He knows fast.
Yes.
He knows speed.
And he was blown away.
Coached against Vince Young.
There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah. And what he saw was extraordinary. What I saw was extraordinary. I thought Chris Carson was a good running back, and I'm not belittling Lamar's, but he was the best running back on the field, and he outplayed Russell Wilson throwing the football to me. And it was a close call there. And again, I'm going to defend you on one point. Lamar does not have your arm strength because you had a cannon. I mean, a cannon. You could load up and throw it 70 yards. He doesn't have that kind of arm. But it is an accurate arm with average arm strength, which will work in this league.
Right.
It'll work because he gets it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make, wild throws or crazy. He doesn't try crazy things. There were a couple times yesterday where he's telling him, just go here.
Right.
Mark Andrews dropped 3 balls on him yesterday. Those yardage, this 143 would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And he did not have Hollywood Brown again.
Right.
So that'll help going forward.
Right.
So I think he is already. Look, that Michael Vick experience, it was you're talking about quarterback wiggle. Nobody's had the quarterback wiggle that guy had.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Right.
And I get you. Lamar, in a straight line, he's got like subtle wiggle where it's
he's
this kind of
slithering.
thing. Where the kite, it's so fast, it's coming so fast at you that the DB's on skates, and all of a sudden he doesn't have to shift very much, and you can't get a hold of it.
When I first came into the league, I was sort of afraid to just let my talents flow. I thought that I would run the football. Running the football was just too much. It was too extreme, and I did it in college, and I'm like, how would this translate into the National Football League? And to your point, he comes in with an example of, listen, I could just let my game go. And I always thought at Louisville, he was a good passer. I just didn't know what type of system he would land in and how they would use him.
Right.
But, this guy and his abilities to run the football, when they go into a run set and it looks like run and it ends up being a pass, then you got the defense all out of whack. And then you come back and it's a pass and it looked like run. It's just hard to stop, and that's what the offense is centered around. This guy's going to go really,
What I
really
love
far in his
about what's
career.
happening in Baltimore, this young man has won this team over completely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
He's won his head coach over because of the play in question, the 4th down play. They were sending the field goal team on, and he ran to Harbaugh and said, no, I got this.
Right.
Good point.
And he was so convincing that Harbaugh said, okay.
Yeah.
And what did they call? Quarterback power. They just play quarterback.
Yep.
So you just go to the right and you just do. And he said, I saw a seam up the gut, and I just cut it up.
Well, I saw last week they had NFL film, and they said Lamar. They called Lamar over. They said we're gonna go for it on 4th down. He turns back and said, "No, coach, I'm gonna score now." Oh, Lamar said he's gonna score now, so don't worry about it. So John is telling the other coaches, Lamar said he's gonna score on this play. This was last week. Skip, he's special. I mean, I think the thing is, and when people say, "Oh, he's a system." Every quarterback is a system quarterback,
Absolutely.
which means they have a system in place that's best suited to what they can do. They put a system around him.
Yep.
Why would you try to make him run Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady system when that's not what he does?
Let him do what he does.
Greg Roman, John Harbaugh hired Greg Roman and says, do what you did with Cap.
He did.
Let him run, let him throw,
Yep.
and let's see what happens. Yep. And you see what's happening.
Okay, so I'm going to ask both of you quickly here. 2 weeks from now, they get a bye. They're going to host the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
What shot do you give Lamar and company against Brady and Belichick?
That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
I still think he'll be effective in the game. I think he'll be a difference maker. If they win the game, it'll be because of Lamar.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
Coach Belichick will probably spy him. He's probably going to have to beat him throwing the football.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to crowd the line of scrimmage. Coach Belichick will play 5 guys. They'll play 8 guys close to the line of scrimmage.
Stop the run, make a pass.
Before yesterday, I would have laughed at the notion of Baltimore upsetting New England, even in Baltimore. But after what I saw at Seattle, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat for this one, because if anybody can pull it off, that young man can with the belief the team has right
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They have embraced his strengths, and we are seeing that right now.
No mercy.
The Dallas defense came to play last night, forcing 2 fumbles on Philly's first 2 possessions. They finished with 4 takeaways in the win, which they hadn't done since 2017. Dak Prescott made big play after big play, with many of those going to Amari Cooper, who caught 5 passes for 106 yards. The Cowboys now have a 1-game lead in the NFC East. So, Michael, what did last night tell you?
Well, it showed me that they still have potential, because I was a little nervous after the last 3 games, just like anybody would have been.
Likewise.
I know you skipped, and that, for you, had been a good thing to see yesterday. I was happy to see the defense play the way that they played, because at the end of the day, I think defenses win championships, and we can all agree to that. And the offense has to do its part. The addition of the guys that was hurt, Cobb coming back, Cooper coming back after being out last week, really showed that they can look like they looked in the beginning of the year. And they just have to continue to ride this wave. They, had a 14-point lead, self-inflicted wounds by the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they showed that they can go wide to wide and finish the game. I think that's very important. So that'll give them confidence moving forward. We'll see what happens after the bye, and then they got the New York Giants, and that's a game that I think could be, it's a rivalry game. It's a divisional game. Could potentially be a trap game for them. They have to go in that game with the utmost focus and couldn't find a way to win.
Well, they just had one bad experience in that stadium, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ohio State and Michigan is a rivalry game. When the last time Michigan won it?
Not the last few I have been at.
Rivalries normally when the two teams are very good. Yeah, this one team isn't very good, the Giants. So stop trying to get people hopes up to make it like, the Giants. Oh, the Giants might upset the Cowboys. You need to stop playing with Daniel Jones after you saw that stinker he did up there
somebody
yesterday.
told me the Eagles were a rival, but I couldn't see it last night.
Okay, you key it now.
So?
Okay, keep on key it.
Yeah.
Hold up, where that schedule at? See
I have enjoyed it.
Where they play again? Where they play again? What the schedule at? Where they play
Who
Who do
again?
you want? Who do you
When
want?
the Cowboys play the Eagles again?
It's
Should be late in the year.
It's way down at the bottom. It's December
in the year.
22nd at Philly.
Yeah, that made nice Krill McGill.
Okay.
Nice Krill McGill for y'all.
December 26th.
4:25 Eastern.
Well, what it tells
me
last night, the Eagles got a lot of issues, especially defensively.
Absolutely, yes.
Because they went into the game last night, they were the second best team against the rush. Now, maybe that was misleading, because teams may be like, well, hell, why the hell we want to run the football when we can throw it all over your head and get points quicker that way? We wasting our time running the football. So maybe that was misleading, because there's no way you're the second best rush defense, and you give up what they gave up last night, 36 attempts, $189, 5.3 yards to carry. There's no way. So that tells me that was a misleading stat. But defensively, that secondary,
You picked them.
I picked them.
You picked them to get to the Super Bowl.
Skip. I I was wrong.
Oh, you're giving up?
No, Skip. You see what you always try to do, Skip. I was wrong last night. I picked the Eagles to win the game. I thought they would play better. I didn't expect them to come out there, turn the ball over, touchdown, turn the ball over again. Once they turned the ball over on their first 2 possessions, after they elected to take the ball, because that's not normally what they do. They normally defer because they want the ball out of the second half to start the second half. But Peterson felt that his offense, well, I'm going to show them. Take the ball because
he's trying to back up his guarantee.
Yeah,
okay, we'll take the ball. We'll do it. We'll stick it right down your throat.
Because Skip, it would send a resounding message. If you take that ball and you march it right down the field and you score, it would have sent a resounding message. I give you a prime example. I remember in the AFC Championship game, the last time the Patriots went to Denver. Skip, they won the kick. We want the ball because Denver's bread and butter was on the defensive side. And Coach Belichick wanted to send a message. Well, that didn't work out too well, just like last night. Skip, the Cowboys are a good team, and the thing is that when they play like this, they're going to be tough to beat. If they can stay away from the turnovers, their defense is going to get after people like they got after Wentz last night. If they can pressure, because it allows their back end not to have to hold up, because I don't think their back end is that good. But their front seven is good. They can get after you. They can pressure your quarterback. They can run it. They can throw it, because if they can run the ball, Skip, now that play action. You see Dak, and Dak is getting better. Play action, he's moving people. He's getting away. He's doing just enough. I'm going to fake you over here, and I'm going over there. But the Eagles, Skip, the Eagles got some issues that I didn't think they would have at this point of the season, and it's very concerning.
So what I saw last night on full display for the nation to see were all the reasons I picked the Dallas Cowboys to win, not just the division, but the conference, to get to the Super Bowl. I saw it all. It was a tour de force. My concern was it took the other coach to motivate my team. Not my coach. It took the other coach to all but guarantee a victory and to go ahead and win the toss and say, we receive, we're taking the ball. And my defense rose up last night and said no.
Right.
And I saw a whole lot of Dak and a whole lot of Zeke and a whole lot of Amari and a whole lot of defense from everybody. Everybody played at a high level. What did I told you all last week? Not one player on my defense had lived up to preseason expectation. Not a single one of them. I was calling DeMarcus Lawrence, Marcus Lawrence, because there was no D in his name. And last night he put a big old D, like Big D as in Big Dallas.
Like
Doug Peterson fired him up.
He fired him up.
He fired back.
Yeah, and he fired back after the game, and he basically said, okay, he made a statement, then we made a statement. And that was a statement against your quote-unquote arch rival with a lot of pressure on you on national TV. But what I did love about the defense was, for the first time all year, they blitzed a lot. And I didn't think NBC made a strong enough point about this, but either Jalen Mills or Sean Lee was coming just about every play.
Jalen Smith, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jalen Mills. Jalen Smith. I'm glad it's not Jalen Mills, but Jalen Smith, that was the best game Jalen Smith has played all year. He was all over the field, but they're using him as a blitzer, and Sean Lee played his best game of the year by far, because Wolf Hunter took a little shot to the neck, and so that could be a little dicey going forward. Robert Quinn has a cracked something in his chest or something. That could be a little dicey going forward. But
he was playing well.
He was, to that point.
He just had a sack before he went.
But hey, Sean Lee was all over the field like the good old days. And so with the blitzes, it started freeing up the edge rushers a little bit more, because they have been just sit back and take it, and they were getting picked apart by, what's that quarterback's name with the Jets? I forget what his name is.
You know who it is.
I can't
Sam
even say his
Darnold.
name. I can't even say it.
Sam Darnold.
It's like getting picked apart by Mariota last year on Monday Night Football.
Also hard.
But the point was that everybody contributed. Even Tavon Austin had a big run for a touchdown. And Tony Pollard's pretty good. And at least he gives you a change-up, a little change of pace, because his run last night was the best run of the night for 11 yards when he escaped. Well, can we see that real quick just for Shannon's sake? This is the guy he called Mike Pollard in the preseason. Mike Pollard, look at this. Woo, woo, woo. I told you he could run. That was 11 yards, so you got that.
Very solid.
Yeah, okay. I'll take it. I got a 1-2 punch. And I'll take my kicker.
You got one and a 1.5 a punch.
Okay, well, I think he's pretty good.
I think with the, I don't mean to cut you off, Skip, but I think with the Dallas Cowboys, they always reach a point during the season where they start talking about the coaches getting fired, and I think it always resonates to this team.
Yeah.
And when they start talking about firing coaches, you know what's next, and players. They gonna go too.
Okay.
And they get the indirect motivation from anywhere that it comes from. And, I think it makes them play better. But that shouldn't be the motivation.
Right.
They are a good enough team. They are so talented on both sides of the ball that they can put it together each and every week.
Right.
And they have to bring that each and every week. And they can't have lapses like they had the last 3 games. They should be up in the win column right now.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Skip, and the reason why, look, I love Jason Garrett, but there should be a standard that is required that we play at every week. What is the standard in which we play at, Skip? If you hear the Patriots, the standard is you do your job and we play to this level and we let the chips fall wherever they may. Mm-hmm. What is the Cowboys standard? What's the level that we are required to play at every single week? We don't forget who we play. It doesn't matter if it's the Jets, it's the Patriots, it's the Eagles. It does not matter. What is the standard? When we were with the Broncos, we had a standard. We're going to play at this level, and if a team beats us, we can live with that. But you're going to have to beat us. You're going to have to play a hell of a ball game because we're going to play at that level. And that's what frustrates you about the Cowboys, Skip, because you look at them. Offensive line littered with first-rounders, all pros. Amari Cooper is as good a receiver. Now, I don't believe he's a top 5 receiver. I'm not taking him over Julio or some of these other guys. But, Skip, as far as route running, he might be the best.
He might be.
Jason Witten's solid. He's not Kelsey or George Kittle, but hey, he's solid. He do something help you in the run game. Defensively, you look at them defensively, that front 7, you're like, man, they got a hell of a group up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you see, you lose to the Jets.
Wait, you got down 21-3 to the Jets, and you got down 31-3 at home to Green Bay.
It's
just wrong.
After Green Bay just took the L to the Eagles.
I know.
Right.
You can't. No, that's unacceptable.
That was supposed to have been that most competitive game right there.
Yeah.
Correct. And that means you were not ready to play either of those games, right?
Yep.
And it took Doug Prediction lighting a fire underneath you for last night.
Right.
So will the fire continue to burn? Once they took off last year, they just took off.
I think it will.
You hope so.
I think it will. Honestly, I think it will.
But they have the bye to get through as well.
Maybe that's not a good thing. Right?
I know. You'd want to maybe keep going
Yeah.
after this one. Either way, Michael, good to have you. As always, good stuff today. Kirk Cousins and company tore up an overmatched Lions defense for over 500 yards on the way to a season-high 42 points. Cousins now has back-to-back games with 300-plus passing yards and 4 scores for the first time in his career. So, Shannon, has Cousins finally figured it out?
No. I still believe he needs things around him, Skip. You do realize he does have the league's leading rusher in Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I know Gary Kubiak, who's my offensive coordinator. I actually played with Kub. He was a backup quarterback to John Elway when I first got into the NFL. So I know him very well. He's the head offensive assistant in Minnesota. Skip, they're going to run the football. And they're going to play action off it. They're going to boot off it. You see, there are a lot of bootlegs out of this situation because when you can run the football, everything is crystal clear. And that's what we're seeing from Cousins now. We're seeing, as long as they can run the football like this here, they're going to be just fine. If you get into trouble when you can't run the football and you say, Kirk, we need you to win it. Kirk, we need you to win it today. And then I got to drop him down to third cousin. Now, when you're going to have it like Dalvin Cook running the ball like this here, 25 for $142, 5.7 a clip, 2 tubs, he going to be first cousin. No. As long as you allow them to run the football, and Minnesota is committed to running the football. As long as you don't let him do that, he'll be just fine. When you start asking him to throw the ball 45, 50 times, and they can't run it, you'll see him revert back to what we think he's going to be.
At least what I think, not what you used to think.
Yeah.
You used to like him.
I still like him in certain situations, in certain circumstances, when you can run the football. Dalvin Cook is leading the NFL in rushing. Well, when you got the league's leading rusher, what can you do? You can fake that ball in his belly, a la Zeke Elliott. Hint.
Jenny, I'm sorry, I have bad news.
I don't like the way this is going, but all right.
I still do not buy Kirk Cousins. We saw these flashes of greatness in Washington, periodic flashes of greatness that would leave you just gasping in disappointment when he lets you down. Because when you most need him to come up big, he comes up very small. And you like that turns into, no, I don't like that.
No.
Right?
Yep, exactly.
So what am I seeing? I'm seeing 2 big passing days against Philadelphia. What did you just tell me about Philly's secondary?
Awful.
Awful.
All right, that doesn't
okay?
help us.
So,
Okay, fair.
no. And at Detroit was at the bottom of the barrel stopping the run. My Cowboys have to go to Detroit in a few weeks, so I'm hoping Zeke has a big day there, along with Tony Pollard, but they can't stop the run. So, to your point, if you let Dalvin Cook just run wild on you, what is Kirk Cousins probably going to do to you? He's going to torch you, right?
Yes.
Because you can't stop play action, and all of a sudden the score is going to tilt. You're going to get in a shootout with Matt Stafford, and you got a chance to win it. Now, by the way, Adam Thielen pulled up a little lame, and I don't know what's going to. He indicated after the game to the Minneapolis paper that it's not that bad, but he's having an MRI today. But they play Thursday against the Redskins.
Worried about that.
He's probably not playing.
Yeah.
But guess what, Skip? Guess what happens when you can run the football? Teams can't tee off on your quarterback. And what happens when teams tee off on First Cousins? He normally gets starting to ducking and hiding and just throwing it up.
Yep.
So now we can run the football. We can slow your pass rush down because all of a sudden you just can't run upfield because we're going to gas you with the runs.
Yep.
So now you got to sit in there just a second before you get up on the snap of the ball.
So what did we see just this football season, early this season? We saw game number 1. Mike Zimmer said, I don't want to let him throw it at all. Yeah. And he completed 8 of 10 for 98 yards against Atlanta.
Yes.
Again, we thought Atlanta at that point was pretty good.
Right.
But he just said, stay out of the way. We'll just run them off the field. And they did. 8 of 10 for 98 yards. Then against the Packers, Kirk Cousins had a QBR of 4 on a scale of 0 to 100 because he was just miserable in that game. They lost that game. Then they lost at the Bears, and he had a QBR of 15. He wasn't much better in that game.
And that was that the game that Adam Thielen says you're not going to always be able to run the ball for 170 yards.
Correct.
And when you don't,
that was it.
Got to be able to throw.
Yep.
And Stephon Diggs was talking about, hey, y'all need to get me up out of here. Y'all ain't gonna throw me the ball. And then the last 2 weeks, he goes for 3 touchdowns last week. He has a $142 this week.
Okay, so I might eat these words because let me get the date right here, November the 10th. November the 10th, not too far away. It's a night game. The Minnesota Vikings come in. Is that a Monday night? I'm not even sure. No, I don't think so.
No, Sunday.
Sunday night game. At Jerry World, here comes Kirk Cousins. What have I told you about the Washington-Dallas rivalry? I miss first cousins, second cousins, third cousins because he dropped down status every time he played us. He was 1-6 against the Cowboys as a Redskin.
He about to be 2.
1-6, and the only guy he beat at quarterback was Kellen Moore, who's now my coordinator. He was 0-4 against Dak Prescott. So will he make me eat those words?
I hope so.
November 10th. Will he beat Dak for the first time in 5 tries?
Well, you better be able to stop the run because if you can't stop the run.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, I agree with you. But if Adam Thielen can't go, maybe some teams are going to say, we're just going to sell out on Dalvin Cook and see if Diggs can beat us, right?
Roll coverage. Now you can roll coverage because what makes them so difficult is because you do have 2 guys. That's a very good tandem over there, Thielen and Diggs. But now if one of them's out, I can roll coverage to that guy.
I still say deep down, underconfident, overachiever. Never loved him.
But you know what, Skip? I'm not loving Minnesota's defense. Matt Stafford cooked them.
He did.
Marvin Jones Jr. had 4 touchdowns. Amendola had 100 yards.
He did.
What happened?
That scares me a little bit because my team still has to go to Detroit on November 17th, the next week.
Oh, but they can score, but they can't stop anybody because all it takes is 1 turnover and this game's over.
Well,
you guys aren't really helping
Jenny,
me
I'm
here.
Sorry. I hope you enjoyed the last 2 Sundays.
Last 3.
3. Okay.
They're averaging 36 points per game. I can't even be happy about it because you guys are downers.
You got Washington coming on the short week. You get them.
And so he wants to put it on him just what Shanahan did yesterday?
Who put it on him?
Well, Shanahan was really mouthing off about what happened to him and his dad.
He makes no bones about it.
No.
He said he loved working with his dad. He loved some of the other coaches. What about the worst part? Everything else.
Everything else. So here's the thing. Tom Brady made a brief appearance in the new Netflix comedy series Living with Yourself, which debuted Friday. And in a clip that's going viral, Tom strolls out of the front doors of a massage parlor, leading many to wonder if his participation was a dig at his boss. But Brady says his cameo appearance is most definitely not what it's being made out to be.
Walking out of a massage parlor with a big grin on your face, what were you thinking?
It's not what that was about. I think that was taken out of context, just like you're taking it out of context and trying to make it a story for yourself, which is has a negative connotation to it, which I don't appreciate. Oh, he shot on the green screen. It was agreed to a year ago. It was written 4 years ago. And I think, again, it's unfortunate that people would choose to think I would do something like that about Mr. Kraft. For 20 years, it's nothing but love and respect. Been through a lot of tough things with him, and I love him dearly. I sympathize with a lot of things that he's gone through in his life.
Shannon, do you buy Brady's explanation?
Skip, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really do. He said it was shot on the green screen, but it's hard for me to believe that Tom Brady would not read the script and see that it was, even though it was shot on the green screen, it was going to be portrayed as him coming out of a spa, making it seem like, okay, Tom Brady keep reinventing himself and he keeps getting younger, yada, 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 whatever it's going to be. The naivete on Tom Brady's part. Okay, yes, it was written over 4 years ago, but this incident happened 8-9 months ago, and you still went through? Skip, the director said, I didn't think Tom would go along with it.
He was
Skip, the director said that. And you still went along with it, Tom, and you want to say, well, we making the stretch. We're making a leap. We're trying to make something. Come on, Tom. At some point in time, that golly gee whiz wears off. Skip, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I do not believe that the man would make light as great as Mr. Kraft has been to Tom. But come on, Skip. He must know that people were going to make that leap. And it's not a huge leap, Skip.
No.
He had to know people was going to walk right up to there and say, Tom, what are you thinking? Because I'm like, Tom, what the hell are you thinking? A strip mall? And you think like nobody goes like, oh, that ain't nothing. Come on, Tom, don't be that naive. And he's upset at the reporter. You know they was going to ask that question, Skip. They had to. Any reporter worth anything. Even though Tom got a lot of these guys in his pocket and you don't want to ask him anything because you don't want him to shut you down because that's the guy you really want to talk to in the locker room. But you had to ask
No,
that.
I think he welcomed this question. He wanted to respond.
Nah, I mean, looking at the way, looking at the way he was talking, he didn't want to respond to that.
He did.
Angry.
No, he wanted to make a statement that this is not the way it's being perceived. So, as anybody who regularly watches this show knows, I am the biggest Tom Brady fan. Greatest player ever in the history of this league. Best leader in sports today. But I cannot defend this on any level. And it looks awful. The optics are really bad on 2 levels. Because if we go back to the start of this, the director also says that he wrote this script 4 years ago. And the big picture connotation here is this was during Deflategate. And that he wrote it because there was this implication, said the director, I'll just read his quote.
Yes.
There was this implication that maybe he's a clone and he's cheating. Well, there was no implication he's a clone,
right.
that he was definitely
he was cheating. Right.
Okay. So the whole idea of the script is you can go get reinvented. So the point of his whole cameo was Tom Brady has reinvented himself 6 times to stay younger. He's recloned himself 6 times by going to what's called the Top Happy Spa in this strip mall in the Netflix story.
A strip mall.
Okay. All right. So he's saying, well, it was shot on a green screen, so I didn't know it was at a strip mall. Well, to your point, all you have to do is just read the script, and you'll see that Top Happy Spa is like a massage type. It could be a massage type parlor in a strip mall.
But Skip, even though I was like, okay, what's the I'm gonna ask the director, what's the backdrop of this? Okay, what are you getting at? Well, okay, even though it's written during Deflategate, Tom, he think you cheating.
Yeah.
You were going in this place and you were receiving some type of an advantage that you wouldn't. It's like these wellness clinics, Skip. You know, these wellness clinics that's in these strip malls, and you go and guy go in here and get this infused and get some of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that over there. Come on, Tom.
No.
How do you think that's gonna look?
Weird.
You get mad at us. Your owner went through what he went through. And you're going to shoot something where you're supposedly coming out of a strip mall, and you don't understand how people are going to connect the dots. Come on, Skip. Skip, I'm going to get Skip, you know what? And you know I've beaten Tom Brady up because I think, that golly gee whiz, I think it's just a plot because he don't want to say anything. He don't want to say anything that's going to put a dent in the Tom Brady armor. But Skip, come on, man, bro, you can't do this.
Just straight naivete on his part and his his advisor's part? Shouldn't somebody on his
That's
team
what's
say,
surprising.
wait a second, we can't do this?
Skip.
Because the cameo's not worth this,
No.
right?
Skip, I was on CBS one year, and we had the Super Bowl. So, they bring the trophy around, and, you're not supposed to, before the players actually touch the trophy, you can't touch the trophy without gloves. And they said, Shannon, we want you to touch, to handle the trophy. Okay. I'm like, okay, but you got to put on white gloves. I said, I wish I might. I said, what the hell y'all think this is?
Okay.
Shit.
All right, there you go. I like that.
But I said, but
Okay, but you weren't naive.
Yeah,
You didn't just stumble headlong into it.
Exactly.
Say, what was I thinking?
What?
Right.
Skip.
I got it.
That's Skip. Skip,
Okay.
you know what, Skip? I'm just gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's just hard that he would put himself in that situation. Because I'm gonna read the script and oh hell no.
Yeah, well,
And remember, he shot it after the allegation came down against Mr.
Skip,
Kraft.
if he had shot it a year ago before, okay. And then I'm gonna go to them and say, guys, come on, cut this out. Please don't air this because it's gonna look like I'm making jest of what happened with Mr. Kraft.
Right.
So can we please not do that? But you shot this after already knowing.
Okay, and in the scene, he walks out of the Top Happy Spa with a big grin on his face, and Paul Rudd's character asks him, first time?
Yeah.
Brady asked Paul Rudd's character, first time? Yep, you? And Brady says, it's my sixth.
doesn't get better.
Okay, well, so you've cheated 6 times? Is that okay? We got that going on, and then we got the spa going on. So it doesn't work for me on either level. Like you went wrong.
But look here. If I'm a Patriot, I ain't going to I ain't getting no body scrub. I ain't getting my nails. They coming to my house.
Well, I'd say.
If my girl is say, hey, babe, can you stop and get a pizza at the strip mall? Hell no, I ain't stopping. You better call Grubhub. I ain't getting no stop at strip mall is off the list for me. As long as I'm in New England,
I know.
It's
strip
just
nothing.
odd because his image is everything.
I know,
to
and
him.
what he said about Robert Kraft, I believe with all my heart and soul,
absolutely.
where he said, it's nothing but love and respect. Well, I believe that.
Absolutely.
But you stepped out of bounds.
As a matter of fact, if I'm on Patriots, I ain't any more than chicken strips.
Yeah.
I don't even want to mention.
You're not going anywhere.
No. But Skip, he has to understand that the look that this is going to come off, how bad it's going to look, and I believe that he's sincerely hurt by it.
Yeah.
But for him not to know, man. Do you actually think people are going to put 2 and 2 together? Absolutely.
On both levels, the Mr. Kraft level and the cheating level.
Yeah, this was a fail.
I would never
don't
do
think
anything.
there's any.
Skip, I would never do
way.
anything. I would never make anything about cheating because they actually think that that's what you guys do up in New England.
Was it worth it to do just a cameo shot?
For you, Tom, do you need any more publicity?
Paul Rudd, I was trying to figure out, is he doing this for a favor, for a friend? Because
I don't
it's
think
very
they
odd.
have. I tried to read up
I
on
did
this,
too.
and I don't think they have a relationship that I
either.
can find.
I mean,
This was a miss.
you're Tom Brady.
We're gonna leave
You don't need to do a cameo in anything. Your star is bright, it's going to get.
He's trying to go into comedy in his next life. Maybe that's the thing.
No mercy.
Now, Doug Peterson said last week that his Eagles were going to go down to Dallas and, quote, win that football game. Well, they did not. The Dallas defense forced 2 fumbles on Philly's first 2 possessions, and the offense hung 27 points on the Eagles in the first half, the most of the Peterson era. And after the game, Peterson ranked the loss as the first or second worst of his Eagles' tenure, and Carson Wentz called it, quote, a little embarrassing. So, Shannon, can the Eagles turn it around and win the division?
Oh, absolutely. And I believe they will.
You better hope so. You're gonna lose 5 cases.
No. They're gonna do this thing, Skip. Of course.
Yep. He bet 5 that my team would miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to win this division and make the playoffs.
I'm gonna win this division because when I look at this, Skip, and I don't have the schedule, but I through my memory, I jotted this down. I think they got Buffalo, Chicago, the Pats, the Dolphins. They got 2 games against the Giants, Washington, Cowboys, and Seattle. They ain't losing more than 2 games. They ain't losing more than 2 games.
There you go.
They ain't losing more than 2 games. You heard it here first.
I got them losing 1, 2, 3, 4 more games.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to win the division.
Huh.
Yep.
What if I told you from the start? The Cowboys are just better than the Eagles. My quarterback is better than your quarterback. My running back is better than your running back. I still think my line is better than your line.
Yes, our line is banged up. Peters didn't play yesterday.
And my defense is definitely better than your defense.
Okay.
So what's not to like about Dallas winning the division?
My coach is better than yours.
Well,
Yeah.
He's had his moments.
My coach is better than
predicted
yours.
victory against my coach.
Helped you.
You know?
You love that.
So my coach can go along for great rides. So he
Yeah,
just
exactly.
kind of stays out of the way. Great things can start
At some point in
happening.
time, Skip, our secondary has to get healthy. We're going to start getting people back. I mean, you lose Malik Jackson.
I don't think you're very good when you're healthy.
I mean,
I don't.
We're not, but we're better than that. I mean, if your starters aren't good and you're down to your third and your fourth and your backups.
So what have I seen from your Eagles so far? You lost to the Atlanta Falcons, who are a disaster,
They're
right?
terrible.
Not good.
You lost at home to the Detroit Lions. That's just not good. You shouldn't lose at home. I mean, Kyler Murray tied the Lions in his new house, right? And then you got wiped out by Kirk Cousins at Minneapolis, obviously, but it was 38-20. And then last night was 37-10 at Jerry World. So that's bad sign upon bad sign upon bad sign. My team lost 3 in a row, and I kept telling you my team is so much better than this. But I also said my team has to play that way.
Yeah.
And last night they finally played that way against a quote-unquote quality opponent, right?
They got to get on the right track. They got to beat Buffalo, Chicago with Mitchell.
Which
Trubisky.
team are you talking about?
Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles got to
Okay.
go to Buffalo. They got to
Okay.
get Buffalo this
Do you
week.
really think they can win at Buffalo? Because I don't.
I do. They got to get Buffalo.
Really?
They're going to get Chicago. They're going
Really?
to come into that bye week, and we're going to put pain on New England. Going to beat Seattle, beat
You're going to
Miami.
put pain on New England? Are you,
Is that what you said?
Can we bet at least one case on that right now? I got New England for one case.
No. We got to wait and see if we got to get healthy. We got to get healthy.
Oh.
But
Okay.
right now, if we get healthy, we get our guys back, I'll give you a case on that one. And then we're going to get Seattle. We're going to get Miami. We're going to get the Giants.
What are
we're
you
gonna get
talking about? I have no idea. You're completely delusional.
No, hold
Did
on.
you see last night's game?
Yes.
Huh.
We're going to beat Buffalo. We're going to beat Chicago. We're going to go in the bye. So we're going to rest up.
Okay.
If we get our guys back, we're going to get New England. We're going to beat Seattle.
You're just going to say they win out then, right?
whoa,
It's win out.
Okay. Who do you have them losing to?
Oh, why you? Oh, you know what? I don't want to, say we'll win all of them, but we ain't losing more than one game.
Huh. Well,
Of
if-
all the
if you're not
games,
gonna lose-
we ain't losing more than one.
If you're only going to lose one game, is it going to be to Dallas at home on December 22nd?
We're winning the division, and we're only losing one more game.
You've lost 3 in a row to Dallas.
We're losing one more game, Skip Bayless.
I believe you're going to lose next week at Buffalo.
You want
That's what I
a
believe.
case on that?
Yep, I'll take a case on
Okay.
that right now.
Got it.
Thank you very
Got you.
much.
Thank you. Saw
Yeah.
you coming.
There we go.
Saw you coming.
Okay. And here's my schedule, and I'm going to give you this. My schedule is tougher than your schedule. So, look, my team gets a week off to go to the Giants, and if my team goes up there again and loses to the other New York team, my team doesn't deserve to make the playoffs. It's
Oh,
as
man,
simple
ain't
as
nobody
that.
talking about the Giants.
Okay? So,
They bull Giants.
Okay, and then it starts, and it's hard if we could see the Dallas schedule because it goes Vikings at home, then at Lions, which is obviously dangerous because they can score.
Sure.
And then at New England, I don't think Dallas will win that game. Then they get the Bills at home, they will win that game. At Bears, I do think they can win that game because they're having a hard time.
Trubisky
Mitchell
is not very
is-
good.
Is not the answer.
No.
He's not the answer.
And what makes it so egregious, Skip, with Trubisky? They could have had Deshaun Watson or my homeboy.
Okay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if the game at Philly is for all the marbles,
Oh,
still for that,
all the marbles.
then I got Dallas. 'Cause
I got-
Dak rises and shines against Carson Wentz every time, and he loves to play at
Nah, South Dakota, he used to bear hunting.
Yeah,
You go to you up in the Dakotas, them old Dakota boys, they tough.
And then we get a gimme to close the Redskins.
Oh, they give me hunt. You call it Washington, they give me hunt.
Well, I do. Even though
Really?
it's a rivalry game, I think my team.
Stop saying
if
a rivalry.
If
You know
it
it's not a
needs to win
rivalry
that game, it will win that game.
You know good and well Washington is not a rivalry.
So I'm looking at 12-4-ish here for my team.
All I'm saying is we're losing one more game. I don't know
think
what your record's
your
gonna be.
team's looking like 8-8 to me. From 3-4 to 8-8. Now I'm kind of being glass half full for you.
You ought to be ashamed of
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm not. I'm just telling you.
We're
that
losing one more.
My team is better. Whose team looks better?
Y'all looking better right now.
Yeah, thank you.
But we're going to play our way into shape.
Yeah. With what? Same secondary? You can't get much healthier than you were yesterday.
Oh, walk it to them.
Yeah. Huh. Give it to him. Oh, give it to him Wentz. He spits it up.
Oh, why you hold up, Skip. I know you're not talking because your guy got double the interceptions we got.
Really?
Yeah.
Wentz, W-I-N-C-E. I was wincing for you last night.
You saw him walk that ball to Goddard. Right over the Wolf Hunter.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was the
You
only
just
throw
need
he
to
made
keep
the whole
that
night,
same momentum.
which is why he had a QBR of 29.
Your guy had a 60.
No mercy.
Jacoby Brissett might be making Colts fans forget about Andrew Luck, at least for now. Brissett outplayed Deshaun Watson yesterday, passing for 326 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Colts win. That prompted former New England Patriots All-Pro Rodney Harrison to call Brissett, quote, the best quarterback in the AFC right now. So, Shannon, is he correct?
Skip, I like Rodney a lot.
I
played a number of years against Rodney when he was in San Diego, and I was in Denver, so we played against each other a number of years. But Rodney out is mine. Did my homeboy retire? He's hurt, but he didn't retire.
He did not.
What about Tom Brady? Did Tom Brady retire?
Not that I know of.
Jacoby Brissett is playing unbelievable. He's not the best quarterback in the AFC South. Deshaun Watson is still a better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett.
Agreed.
So, no, Jacoby Brissett is not the best quarterback in the AFC.
I think I might even take Lamar right now over Jacoby. But Jacoby has been very good, and that team is interesting. And you made the point last week. They are a factor because of their offensive line and their run game, and the defense is pretty to very good.
They're opportunistic.
Right?
Yes.
So, I look at Jacoby. He's 13th in QBR. He's 17th in completion percentage, 21st in yards passing. So, again, those aren't exactly Dak Prescott numbers, obviously, that NFC versus AFC. but again, I don't see it. They're 22nd in yards on offense and 15th in points scored. So I don't know what Rodney is seeing either, but I'm impressed. Is he Andrew Luck? No, but is he a pretty good stand-in?
You know what happened? Rodney's looking at it, well, if my quarterback beats your quarterback, he's a better.
I know.
No, the team, his team won.
Right.
But just because his team beat Mahomes, he's not a better quarterback than Mahomes. Just because his team beat Deshaun Watson's team.
All right. That is it for us.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.